bring all the voices down. Oh, you want to try it with your voice? People listen to you better than me.
Hey, shut up. All right, here we go.
Okay, so here's how the format's going to go. Sorry, we have some technical difficulties, a.k.a. dead batteries. We got those fixed. And so what we're going to do here is Dennis is going to announce a table of podcast guests to the table, as you see here and here. This is table 1. This is table 2. We're going to do a roundtable discussion, seeing where everybody's at. That's going to be live casted on YouTube and also on the video, and you'll be able to listen to what's going on. When we're done with our interviews, then we'll switch over to table 2. We'll get another round of old fashions, and then we'll be able to start over again. Yeah.
I mean, you had me at old fashions, and then I kind of lost track of what you were saying.
Dennis says he's taking care of it. Okay, so that's pretty normal for us. Hey, so we want to give a heartfelt thank you to you guys for the podcast. This is something that I have envisioned for a long time, but then I was like, who's the perfect person to get here? And the person that had the most people surround him at the meetups.
They couldn't make it, so he asked me.
And Jerry said no. So then I reached out to Owen.
Yeah, you're only half kidding.
Only half kidding.
I know you're
The true story is that I hit up Jerry, and then I was like, we need a third person in here because Jerry's never available, and I wanted Owen on there, and I figured Owen would never be available, but he has so much fun, he makes time for it.
That's true. Love me some TED Talks.
There we go. So this is 2 years officially this month of doing the podcast. We've gotten some great rankings so far. We have some great. What? Oh, okay. And so huge shout out to you guys for listening to us. We've gotten over 100 reviews on just Apple.
Is that verified?
That's not 100% verified. Did
Okay.
98 last week.
Hey, anybody that has not reviewed REIA Radio, you will not be able to leave this place without giving us a 5-star review. So just
especially if you've been on the podcast.
Fair warning. And by the way, get drunk first. It's a lot more fun that way. We'll read them out loud.
100 ratings. Yes, we did it.
Yeah.
Verified.
Take that,
so
Yelp.
we know that if you're an avid listener, hey, I need your attention because we're on video. You guys all here. So tomorrow we have Mike Wolf. If you guys went to the Mike Wolf presentation, he's episode 96. Sean Hissong is 97. Tony Brown out of Philadelphia is episode 98. Muta Kabeni. Muta, I know you're here. Where you at? Number 99. Show your shirt. Woo, baby. And episode 100 is... Any guesses? Any guesses on episode 100? Okay, let's play it.
If you really think about this, like people in your audience, right? You got probably young people thinking about like, okay, I want to get into real estate. I want to do this. Dude, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do besides being in a 9-to-5 job, you have to be so callous from hearing the word no. In fact, it's different than that. You have to almost crave the word no. You have to crave the hard work. And I was listening to a buddy of mine, Alex Hermosi. You guys know Alex. He's blown up the last 3 years. He says, imagine creating the most badass human being. Like you have to create this human being. What would you have to do? And what would you have to put that human being through in order to make them the person you want them to be? It's probably not a very chill life, right? Like you're not just giving them a chill life. Like, okay, here's an iPhone and here's an iPad and here's a this and here's a that and here's every script and here's everything that you have. It's like, no, dude. The people that are truly the badasses are the ones that are like, my parents made me start working at 15 because they didn't pay for anything for me. It's why more billionaires were like, I started from nothing, than people that are like, yeah, my parents were already millionaires. You guys have heard the phrase 1,000 times. Great book, by the way. The Fourth Turning. If you guys have not read that book, it's one of the best books of all time. The phrase, basically to sum up the book is, you guys have heard this before too. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times create strong men, and strong men create good times.
And the cycle begins again.
And so when you think about it, so it's also about the 4 seasons. So that book, The Fourth Turning, talks about how there's constantly 4 seasons of an economy, constantly 4 seasons of even the social, economic, ecosystem. And right now, okay, so you have spring, you have summer, and you have fall, which is harvest. So spring is really hard. You're planting seeds. You're doing the thing. Summer, you got to keep everything alive. Like everything that you planted, you got to keep it alive. You got to keep it alive. Protect. fall is the harvest, right? That's where everybody starts making tons of money and things are great. And if you made it through the first 2 seasons, you can harvest. And then after the harvest comes the winter, and you buckle down. And this is where like the depressions happen, and 2008 happens, and these economic destruction. The book, The Fourth Turning, is talking about how the people in our society have gotten so weak, have gotten so entitled. Everything's about people's feelings. It's like, you hurt my feelings. You did this, that, and the other. You're not calling me by the right surname, or not surname, but pronoun, or this, that, and the other. This book talks about that is a requirement for us to go through in order for us to go into the winter, in order for us to go back into spring. People, like other countries, love their country. Right now, we have a problem in our country where Americans are starting to criticize America. That's called entitlement. You are in the greatest country of the world. You have been given the harvest. You weren't there for spring and summer and fall. You are just here in fall, and people are giving everything to you. So social checks and this, that, and the other. So we've created all these weak people. And when I get these 20-year-olds and 23-year-olds and 24-year-olds come up to me and go, "Hey, how do I get started in real estate?" I'm like, what have you done hard in your life? Tell me, let's start there. Oh, I just, I went to high school, and then my parents paid for my college, and now I'm here. I want to get started in real estate. I'm like, the biggest thing is not strategy for you. The biggest thing is going to be mindset for you. You're gonna be upset when somebody tells you no. You're gonna be upset when you don't see success in a week. You're gonna be upset because of these things, because all you've seen is the harvest of life. All you've been doing is given feast after feast after feast. You've never gone through the crap.
Awesome. What do you guys think about Pace Morby? Woo! Oh, and I gotta tell you, that was one of the funnest podcasts. Not taking away from all the blue shirts in here, but one of the funnest podcasts we have. I mean, when you get in the front of somebody like that, and you just drop those knowledge bombs on you, those golden nuggets, I mean, it just blows you away. You can't pay for that one-on-one time.
Well, we did pay him, but that's beside the point. What I like most about Pace is the fact that you could literally ask him almost anything that you could possibly think of. And he's known as the creative finance guy, the subject to guy, right? For those of you that know Pace Morby. But he is so much more well-rounded than that. And he's a deep thinker, and you can ask him literally any question, and he probably has a really thoughtful response to it. So those kind of podcasts are really fun. It's not just the technical knowledge that he's dropping on you. And one thing I think your guys are going to like about this episode is, if you are a Pace Morby follower, you've probably heard his story. You probably know what he does. Like, he's the sub-2 guy, and he's infiltrated Bigger Pockets now. So they publish his book, and he's got a lot of disciples around the country in his program. But he's just a cool dude too, and he's done so many things, from like flipping couches, flipping F-150s. He's bought cameras on creative finance, like tons and tons and tons of good information in this episode. And he's just a cool guy too. Like, so I think you guys are going to love it.
He did promise he's going to come to Omaha, but we're not going to announce that until it's in writing.
Right. We're not announcing it. We're not.
We're not. Hey, I want to, first off, big shout out to Travis Banks. Where you at, Travis? Okay, stand up so everybody can see you. Can everybody get Travis a round of applause? He's the one who got Pace Morby on our podcast for us.
I do want to point out one thing. If you look at the flyers here, Travis, I don't know who this guy is in the photo, but
GQ, man.
I feel like this is one of those realtor photos from like 20 years ago, the glamour shot style. I'm just saying, I mean, you look great. You're rocking it. Not really looking like you much.
If you guys see this flyer on your tables or anywhere, Travis is going to be talking about that topic specifically on November 7th for our whole group. So show him some love and support. The kid is incredibly intelligent, knows his shit, and I'm excited to have you on here. Also, Travis provided a book tonight that was written by Pace Morby, Wealth Without Cash. We're going to give this away at the end of the night. This book is going to be right here in this basket on the Thrasher booth. So drop your card in there anytime, and we'll give that away tonight. I have a little something I wrote up.
You wrote it?
Yes, I did. My wife overlooks everything I do. So, 100 episodes, 2 years. I'm super excited. I can't tell you how excited I am to see every one of your faces out here. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this incredible journey that Owen and I have been on with Dennis Bertrand back there for the Omaha REIA. Your participation and enthusiasm that I see right here is what keeps this community vibrant and full of opportunity. And for that, I am deeply grateful to you guys, because there's no community like this Omaha community anywhere else, and the people that flew in. So, Frank, I saw you fly in. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to our amazing podcast guests. If you are wearing a blue shirt, can you stand up so we can all see you? If you have a blue podcast shirt, if you've been on REIA Radio, please stand up so we all can see you. Can you give all these guys a round of applause? Thank you. They've taken so much time with us, a couple hours in some cases, in our studio with many old fashions.
We know you love it.
Your stories and insights and expertise have enriched our community immeasurably, and we're honored to have you. A special shout out to our fantastic team, Dennis and Owen. This could not happen without your tireless efforts, and you're instrumental in making what Omaha REIA and REIA Radio is today. And of course, I want to thank you to our podcast sponsor, JM Real Estate Capital over there. Thank you for everything. And also, let's make it tonight. Let's engage. Let's network. Let's share stories. And above all, let's celebrate the spirit of real estate investment and entrepreneurship that unites all of us together in this room to make this amazing community that gives me goosebumps every single time I'm here with you guys, that makes me warm and fuzzy when I get to sit in a podcast studio with you two. Thank you guys, and we appreciate you guys, and we look forward to doing this for another 2 years.
Let's all give Ted a gigantic round of applause for everything that he's done to bring this community of real estate investor psychos together once a month, and brought fantastic guests. He's able to badger multiple people into coming into a podcast with him. I mean, he's just a connector. But who does not love Ted in here? There's the door. So thank you, Ted Kosh. You're my brother from another mother. Where's your mother? There she is.
Your mother's here?
Your mom's here. Mine is not here. She's in Malvern. But love you, buddy. Thank you for everything you've done. Appreciate you inviting me to be part of this shit show. Dennis is cueing wild hand signals over here. He's waving now. I probably did something wrong again. I usually do every week. So thank you all. We're going to get into it. So you guys have fun, drink a lot, tip your wait staff, enjoy the show. This is going to be awesome.
Okay, so how we're going to do this is going to be table one. We're going to start the podcast here. I'm going to give you your mic, Cat. There you go. And then we're going to go round robin, and anybody can throw their 2 cents in on any part of the conversation that's going on here. When we get through done with this interview, we'll turn it over to Owen, the podcast pro. So I'm sorry you guys got the secondhand host. And then Dennis will go around, get the next round of group to come to this table, and then we'll keep that cycle going. Jenny, how's our keg doing back there? It's good, she says. Keep drinking, buddies. Okay, so Dennis, are we ready to go live? Ooh, I like the split screen. This is fancy here. Okay, so Cat Theo, are you live? Give it a test.
Test.
The question that's burning everybody's minds.
No.
How many followers do you have on your podcast or on your YouTube channel now?
I believe we're at 489,000.
489,000. That's about an 89,000 person increase, I believe, from when last time we met, which was about a year ago.
About a year ago.
And what has changed, like, in your content on your podcast since then? Or are you doing any different strategies?
Honestly, I'm not doing anything different. Just I'm actually taking a little break from YouTube and trying to focus on my real estate. So
That's a big move with that many followers, right?
yeah, and they just keep coming.
So if we can rebrand it as REIA Radio, put our content over there for you, and we can do a split if you like.
You could, yeah.
Because our 31 followers on YouTube are,
Oh,
I mean, we're getting so close to you.
almost at 1,000.
Okay, so you're focusing on real estate. What's going on? Like, what have you changed in the last year?
So I'm at 8 properties now. Right now, I'm just trying to turn my current rentals into short-term rentals. So just focusing on what I have right
and then completely out of wholesaling now.
Out of wholesaling.
And
Out of
and have your real estate license now?
No,
Okay.
no.
Still working at a real estate firm, head of marketing?
Yes, Better Homes and Gardens, Omaha Home Pros team.
Yes. I love how you get that shout out.
Yes.
And what kind of investments are you looking for now?
I'm still looking to buy and hold. Right now I'm looking for something that's smaller, just one bedrooms.
Okay.
I get a lot of single people that are looking for somewhere to live, so I'm looking for something smaller right now.
So what is your buy box?
What do you mean by my box?
Like what's in your buy box? Like area, unit count? Is there some, like if you found this one specific property today, what would it have to have?
Honestly, I'm open to most areas. I've had a lot of success over North and South Omaha, anywhere between 1 to 4 bedrooms. I like single family homes. I'll obviously buy a multifamily. Everybody wants a multifamily right now.
Just hit up Colin Schwartz. He's always got a few to sell.
Right.
If you could give anybody, for last question, an update of what you've been doing specifically, what's changed in your life in the last year, what would that be, personal or business?
Just trying to find more meaning to my real estate. So right now, my 8th property I bought from an elderly couple was staying there, and they were going to get kicked out. So I bought it just for them to stay. So that's just trying to find more meaning than just buying and holding. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, and we'd love to get you back on the podcast sometime
Yes.
and get a
Thanks
little
for
catch up. So thanks for making it out here.
Yes.
You guys have any questions? No? Dawn, how are you doing?
Hi, good.
So, Dawn, it wasn't that long ago that you were on, in the last probably 4 or 5 months, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to be at BP this year?
I am.
Oh, are we going to be partying out there?
Yes, we are.
Where are you going to be staying?
At the hotel that it's
Okay.
at.
So, Austin Compton got some mega mansion with an indoor pool.
You guys are so
Like
fancy.
20 minutes outside of town. And I think we got like $500 a night.
Yeah, we're just on property.
and
I'm lazy.
Eight bedrooms, 12 beds.
Nice.
So I think there's a couple extra beds left. So if you know
That's
anybody
right. I'll
needs a
just
spot,
walk downstairs to the conference. I don't.
just jump on our Uber. So since you've been on the podcast, has anybody reached out to you? Have you had any conversations with anybody about your newfound celebrity?
No.
No?
Nobody cares.
Nobody listens. I know.
No, people listen. They just didn't reach out to me.
Now, if I remember right, you were really stuck that you would not really want to work with real estate investors. It wasn't like your strong point. I remember that topic being on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want to work with
You
real
said they're
estate
more
investors.
difficult.
I've just run into my share of want to be investors that aren't super serious. But if I get somebody who's really serious, of course I want to work with them.
So what's the ideal real estate investor that Dawn would work with? Because there is a huge value to working with a real estate agent that has investment properties.
So I have some clients who want to buy investment properties, and they literally say, "Would you buy this one?" And I say, "Yeah," and they're like, "Write it up." That's who I want to work with, because if they are always looking for the perfect deal and they think that they're going to cash flow crazy and they're going to, be able to quit their day job, then that's just not realistic in the market that we're in.
With today's market, what kind of advice are you giving to a client to find a property?
So we're looking for value add. We're looking for things maybe like lately I've been real big on tax assessed. So if it's homestead exempt, you won't have taxes for 18 months usually. So if we can find one of those properties, we hope in the next 18 months rates will come down, and then the numbers make sense because you don't have taxes, and we hope we'll be able to refinance. So if you can find something that maybe needs a little carpet and paint, and grandma lived there and was tax exempt, then to me that's a good buy.
One last question. You're a very successful real estate agent. You got a big team underneath you. I think that every agent is feeling a little bit of discomfort with the way the market is right now. It's hard to get a deal.
Right.
So I'd say probably 30 to 40% of people in the room have a real estate license. What advice would you give one of them to get through this storm? And because I have a feeling that we're going to lose a lot of realtors over the next year. So do you have what advice are you giving your agents to get through this and get over the hump?
So I know we talked about this briefly on the podcast, but we are very much relational based. So I'm just telling all my agents, just love on your clients because they know people who are going to be buying and selling, and you want to be the one that they refer. There's not enough out there for everybody, so you need to form those relationships.
Thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Jim Booth.
Hey, Ted.
Jim, I got to tell you what, you had probably one of the most interesting podcasts that we've ever done.
Oh, thanks.
So does everybody remember the hitchhike story? Raise your hand if you heard Jim's hitchhike story. He hitchhiked across the country.
Living in a tent and then going to O'Neill's.
And then you met your wife while hitchhiking.
Picked me up.
I
Yeah.
mean, have you ever heard this story? I think you're probably in the top 10 referred people that we talked to on the podcast.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Because it was just fun. So one thing that I remember you were doing, you were expanding your business, trying to expand throughout Nebraska,
Nebraska.
not just North Fork.
Yeah, not North Fork, right? Yeah.
But
all of Nebraska. Now we'll buy a home for somebody who can't get a loan from a bank right now. We'll buy them a home, and then they eventually fix their credit and buy it from us. So it's our home ownership program. Stop renting.
Can you give like the 30-second overview of what you do, because it is a little unique?
Is what?
Can you give the 30-second overview of what you do, because it's a little unique?
Well, we qualify people. First of all, it's a tool for realtors who can't find somebody or find somebody who can't get a loan. It's a tool for you. Send them to us. We'll qualify them, send it back to you, and we'll buy them a home. We can turn most of our candidates into cash buyers. So if they can't quite get it because of whatever issues, maybe they even got less than the loan that they want. We don't use that debt to income ratio. So it's a tool for your people to get through the situation you were talking about. It might be a tough situation of this market right now. Find a whole bunch of people that can't get a loan and send them to us.
Now, Jim, you've been growing your business. From my understanding, you've added some staff members to your company. What have you done to expand your company since last time we chatted?
Well, we added some of our team. We added Ricardo Vanino. He's in our marketing and public relations. So he's a whiz at doing any of the marketing, any of the just any of the social media stuff. So we expanded there, and then just buying and selling homes. People, our doors that you talk about keep going up and down because our candidates who we buy homes for years later get the loan and buy it from us. So we've just been expanding that way.
One last question. With your business, it's going to be a little difficult with interest rates going up. So how are you weathering that storm?
Great, because this is creating opportunities to get great deals, opportunities that, because rents are rising, people are still thinking, I shouldn't rent. I need to get out there and own a home. So looking for a program like ours, we can buy them the home. So it puts it in the forefront of people's minds.
Awesome. Jim, you want to give us any other updates since the podcast?
What's that?
You want to give us any other updates since the podcast?
That's pretty much it. We've been focusing on buying people homes and expanding to all of Nebraska. So if you know of anybody, and right now, I'll tell you what, we are giving a bonus of $1,000 to any realtor who we're working with for the first time. And so you'll get your buyer's commission plus the $1,000. And even tonight, if they reference that they've heard about REIA Radio in here, I'll give them another $1,000. So the buyer's commission plus $2,000.
And make sure that goes to the brokerage so they don't get fined.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jim. Thanks, man.
Well,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Cool.
Very nice.
Jim Enderbrock. Okay, so when we left off, you were doing short-term rentals. You were doing you were doing poker houses. I mean, you're getting really creative with the stuff you're buying. So tell me, what has Enderbrock been doing since last time we met?
Not as much as I'd like to be, but Still doing the short-term rentals. Still doing the Airbnbs. Just did my latest edition last month. Bought a Airbnb on wheels.
Now, whoa. You bought a mobile home?
It's a travel trailer. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me some numbers on that. How's that work?
It's a 26-foot pull-behind trailer, and I can take it to wherever somebody wants it to go to. In fact, this morning I picked from a campground over in Ottawa, Iowa, where I dropped it last week. They camped over the weekend with their family there, and I can drop it off to a driveway. Somebody that needs extra room for some family coming in for a wedding or a funeral or a party or whatever, or I can take it to the campground you want to. Or
what do you get per night on that?
It's a 3-night minimum, $123 a night, plus a couple $100 for delivery and other things.
I might need to pick your brain on that because
use yours.
Because I have a camper that sits in storage most of the time.
Yep.
So I just got passed up by my wife because she has to get past the OCD of cleaning. So tell me what else is going on. You're with a new brokerage.
Yes. When DBG left KW Elite, I decided to check out KW Elite in Elkhorn.
Yep.
And the fellows that opened that office have opened their own brokerage. It's now Empire Group Nebraska. Steve Menino and his wife Jenny.
They're a great couple.
Yep. And Marriott, Jim and his dad Jim.
Yeah. So
he's our broker there. But yeah, right on Main Street, right across from Chevy's in downtown Elkhorn.
How was that new feel, that new family?
It feels like home to me. I'm 5 minutes from there. I don't know why I didn't look at joining something closer to home in the beginning, but it just feels like a home. And the guys that I started with are where I'm at now.
So if you could get one investment property right now, what's your perfect buy box?
A duplex to a fourplex built for a purpose. I got a buyer looking for that right now specifically. So just about anywhere in town, somewhere in the 150 to 250 range with some value to be built.
Okay. So awesome, man. Very excited for you. Congratulations with everything. Dan Zimmerman, one of the highest listened to podcasts in REIA Radio history. I think I got to double check, but I think you're actually in the top 3 most listened to podcasts.
Really?
Yes. If you've listened to Dan Zimmerman's podcast, can you raise your hand? If you listen to Dan Zimmerman's podcast, raise your hand, because he is in the top 3 all-time listened to podcasts that we've ever had.
I think my mother probably listened to it like 200 times.
You go one time per platform, buddy. So first off, everybody, why do you think that your podcast has gotten so much attention? Real close.
I was always a blue collar guy, so I think a lot of people appreciate, blue collar guy going into real estate, figuring out how to build a business, just creating something.
Now, so you have a crap ton of rental properties. You have a property management company. You have management of Airbnbs. You have a lot of Airbnbs. You have one of the sickest Airbnbs in the city.
Did you see the new one?
No. But somebody told me about this the other day. I haven't talked to you since. And you're getting into a very large investment multifamilies also. Yeah. You've had talk about somebody who's had a life change in the last year. So tell everybody that doesn't know, give us an update of what your portfolio looks like compared to when you were on the podcast a year ago.
So compared to a year ago, it hasn't changed a whole lot. We sold the property.
You got a big apartment complex.
So the big apartment complex is under contract.
Okay.
So we haven't closed on it. It's 250 units.
So Andrea Foley.
I can't really talk about all the details of that deal, but
Owen wanted to ask you questions really bad, so he's trying to get in on the podcast. Owen's never gone this long without talking, Dan.
This is really weird for me.
Do you want to ask Dan Zimmerman a question from over there?
I have questions for all of you, but we don't have enough time.
Dan's the last one up. You're up next, Owen.
Hey, I don't want to brag, but I'm going to lap you in how quick I can get this done. You ready?
It's not about quickness, it's about quality, Owen.
That's what she said.
That's exactly what she said, Owen. Don't mind him. Okay, so you got this 250 unit. Okay, so you got this super new Airbnb. What is it? I don't know the details.
So we sold a property in Benton. We used the proceeds to buy this new property off of Skyline Drive. It's extremely unique. It's got an indoor pool. It's got 6 bedrooms, and we were going to list it on Airbnb, obviously. And HGTV scouted us, and last week we did a TV show with them, and it's just this crazy property.
So you're gonna be a TV star now?
Yep.
Yeah, Dan, good job, buddy. Anything else that's been going on in your life since last time we chatted?
We bought 2 laundromats.
Laundromats. Where are those at?
37th and Center and 49th and Grover. I mean, for us, we were having a lot of problems with our linens, with all the Airbnbs, and we were just trying to find, a better program, which we couldn't find. So we just bought a couple of laundromats, and now we do it ourselves.
Okay, so what is the cap rate on a laundromat?
No idea.
You just like, let's buy it 6 quarters and see how it works.
I mean, I understand what the cash flow was.
Yeah.
It worked for us, and it was off market, owner finance, favorable terms. Like it just worked.
Perfect, man. Well, I am so excited. We have a great group of people here at the table. I have loved all the podcasts, and I hope that everybody, if you haven't listened to any of these guys' podcasts, you check them out. But with that, real quick before we turn it over to Owen, because he hasn't paid attention yet, these sponsor booths have shirts. If you're a sponsor and you still have shirts available, you raise your hand. Okay, so there's free shirts at these sponsor booths. So if you want free shirts, talk to these sponsors and see how to get a free shirt. And with that, Owen Dashner, it's yours, buddy.
This just in, Clint Blackburn just put on my glasses to make fun of me, and now he realizes he needs readers. So, true story. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Andrea Foley, what's cracking?
What?
What? Oh, Dennis. Hi. Can we all bring it down a little? Let's bring it down. Bring it down. Everyone, bring it down. Damn it. Voices. Everybody in the back. I see all of you talking. Colin Schwartz, Angie, Ryan Miller. Go out there if you're going to do this. Background noise,
They're very
bro.
important.
Okay. Shh. All right. Andrea Foley. Last time we talked, episode 10. Wow, she was part of the groundbreaking, hard-hitting stuff we had in the REIA Radio podcast episodes 1 through 10. They were all lame after that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, man? Like, what's been going on in the last year and a half of your life? And tell us.
So
You're up.
When I was on, we talked about our first hotel conversion. We are now on to our second, which doesn't sound that impressive, but it's 144 units, so just takes more time. Just more, yeah. And then Axel and I are we're building a car wash. And I know everyone's question, doesn't Omaha have enough car washes?
Do we have enough car washes in Omaha? No?
No.
I say
the answer is no.
No, we do not.
So probably a lot of you don't know, but Axel's W-2 is being a car wash consultant. So we are finally building our own, and we are going to franchise that model. So if you guys want to learn about an active business / real estate investment, that's what a car wash is. And so we'd be happy to talk to you about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
check this out. Everybody in the room, hang on. What's the best part of getting a car wash loan? Anybody in here interested in car washes? Anyone? Okay, listen up. What's the best part of getting a car wash loan compared to a regular real estate loan?
So if you know what you're doing, you have industry experience, as we do, or you partner with someone that has
Hint, hint.
industry experience, you get a 90% loan to value on your first loan. And on your second loan, you get 100% financing. Just in
Anybody hear that? 90% LTV, 100% LTV on car washes. How do they do that? What type of loan is it?
well, that's through the SBA with a 504 construction loan. But even just an SBA 7A, you can also get that. But they won't give you that high unless you have experience.
All right, people. So partner with an experienced consultant / franchisor. And what's it called? What's your
It's called Koala Wash, and it will be on 132nd and Fort.
132nd Fort, the first koala wash in Omaha. For those interested in franchising, how can they reach you?
KoalaWashUSA.com.
KoalaWashUSA.com. You guys are still loud as hell, by the way. I love all of you, but you're sons of bitches right now for this presentation. Okay, just so you know. Talking to all of you. All right. Billy the Kid. Billionaire. Welcome, man. Good to see you.
Same.
I didn't give you a high five, so here you go. Billy, what's going on, man? How's Lincoln, Nebraska? What have you been up to here in the last, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months?
Yeah, kind of same old. Just the same grind. Pretty much my music, definitely real estate, construction, coaching. I started drafting a new book, so I'm excited about that. And we're building our new house. That's
Oh,
where I'm
wow.
at. Yeah.
Okay. Which is
Pretty
the most
busy.
Which is the most stressful out of all of those?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know, I think I can't even pinpoint one because I love all of them. Like, it's weird, but I think I'm usually very mindful of like the 80-20 rule where, you get 80% success of the 20% that you do. So that's kind of how I spread what I do with all my businesses. I know that if on the daily I give it that extra push on each one, I'm going to get something out of it.
Awesome. Okay, so Billy, what's the name of your first book?
The Power of Being Uncomfortable.
The Power of Being Uncomfortable. Sold wherever you can buy books, right? So
Correct.
And you have a new book coming out. Is it titled yet?
Yeah, so in my head I have like 10 books, Owen, but
Okay.
but there's one that I'm the drafting one that I was telling you. It's levels of thinking.
Levels of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to identify or I want people to identify what level of thinking they're on. All of us, and I'm talking. There's like the perfect thinking, which like Tom Brady, Kobe, Michael Jordan never even reached, if you could imagine that. So like that's kind of like that top. But then my goal with this book would be for people to identify where they're at and where they can go, including myself. So I'm studying a lot of just that subject, if that makes sense, of like why people think the way they do and just a lot of mindset stuff.
Yeah, love it. So your coaching program, what is it? How can people sign up?
Yeah, so coaching, I do one-on-one coaching. I've been doing more of the group, the Get Uncomfortable Mastermind, and really it's just accountability. My thing is, it's like, and everybody in this room, it's like, hey, did you guys drink your daily water? Did you guys go for your run this morning? Like, those are the little things that we're worried about because every little win adds up to the big wins. And so that's kind of what the Power of Being Uncomfortable Mastermind is all about. And so info at billythekid.com, anybody that's interested.
Okay. I'm going to be
You
drunk
apparently need
here
a
in
drink.
about 10 minutes. Billy, awesome. Wish I could talk to you more on air, but we'll catch up later.
Thank you.
Austin Compton, the man, episode number 1. Woo, woo.
Woo, number one.
What have you been up to, man? So you work for Orange Property Management,
Yes.
and you tell us a little bit about what you do.
I manage about 550 properties here in Omaha, Lincoln, and Council Bluffs.
550 properties managed,
Give or
Okay.
take. Lately, we've been doing a lot of off and onboarding. A lot of people have capitalized on the appreciation, selling, cashing in, and then so upgrading single families into multi. So we have a lot of clients who have been kind of piecing off their single families and getting into fourplexes or something bigger. And yeah.
Okay, so if I hear you right, you help investors scale up by managing their properties.
Yes.
You also, as I understand it, have Airbnbs, short-term rentals as part of your sweet spot. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we do quite a bit of short-term rentals. We had more about a year ago, and then as I said, some people selling off, but we also have the boutique hotel, the Offutt Manor, which we've been doing a lot of neighborhood and community work there. There's an art walk that is starting September 14th in that district, the Gold Coast district. They're trying to do a rebranding. So we'll have some local art displayed at the manor if anybody wants to come
check it out for purchase as well, or stay the night.
Now, rumor has it you may or may have not bought a property recently. Is that
I
true?
did. Yes, so I
you-
started adding to my own portfolio now.
I love it.
Which is super exciting. I've been doing it for a lot of other people for a
For
long
everyone
time.
else, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's my turn, and we've already got it rented. They move in Friday, and so we're just waiting on some refi, and we'll be good to go.
Love it, man. Kick ass. Andrea Just Trail. Did I get that right? It's not Shampoo Trail anymore.
No, just
no
trail.
hyphen.
Right.
Wow. So Andrea Trail, happily married now, as she informed us, for the last year. Yeah. Okay. What's life been like? So you're Lincoln, Nebraska, and you are a licensed realtor, investor. What else do you have going on? What's going on in the trail world?
Yeah. So my husband actually does full-time maintenance for my dad and on all of our rentals. So we're trying to build our portfolio along with that to eventually probably take over and grow our own. So another thing we've been working on a lot is more new construction rentals, and we're doing some new construction townhomes right now. And I've kind of taken over that to learn, and the last guy didn't work out, so I got that position.
Nice. So you're getting exposure to ground up construction. You've got flipping. You've got rentals in your background. Like, that's awesome. So how has the market been in Lincoln? Has it slowed down in the last year?
It's been pretty steady. Last fall, we saw quite a bit of a dip. I'm sure probably everywhere did a little bit. But then right away at the beginning of the year, we saw everything pick up quite a bit, and no issues really since. It kind of dropped off once school started, but
As it
otherwise
does.
pretty steady.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming. We love having you back here. Mr. Lamb Chops.
I'd rather be born good looking than smart any day. So,
Yeah. Clint Blackburn, newly inducted into the Reading Glasses Club. Welcome.
It's a pretty sad.
It's a
day
fun
for
group.
me. No,
Yeah.
no, I
It's a
wasn't
treat.
looking forward to it. Yes.
So, Clint, you were a pretty recent guest, but what have you been up to in the last few weeks, months?
We're just shaking the trees, man.
Shaking the trees.
We're shaking the trees.
Yeah.
So we've been pretty fortunate. Our new builds, we have a couple new townhomes going, or about done. We put it under contract. Actually, we just closed on a flip house. Have a 7-unit under contract, and on the way up here, I just probably negotiated another single-family home.
Baller.
We're just doing it, man.
Yeah, I love it. So, Clint is the Southwest Iowa king. So, if there's any small town in Southwest Iowa where you've got a lead on a property, he's probably your
Hit me
buyer.
up.
Yeah,
Yes.
hit him up. Slide
We're
into
on
those DMs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he loves
Yes.
it. He goes by, what's your Instagram handle? Lamb Chops R Us?
I will be after tonight.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Where's Mrs. Lamb Chops? Is she in the audience?
She's a lucky
here?
lady right over there.
Yes.
Yes.
There she is. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. We
Mrs.
appreciate you.
Lamb Chops. What kind of name is that?
She's a lucky lady, Ted.
All right. I love all of you. Now get out here.
Yes.
Good job, guys. Hey, did we talk about the hidden episode? Briefly, okay. Okay, so I am over here with this great group of people, and I am going to start off with legendary Kim Stevens, which just happened to be on our podcast in the last 2 weeks, right? There's actually going to be people coming up that people haven't even heard yet, because we have about 6 weeks of recordings, Kim. So don't worry, okay? You're not the newest at the table, but Kim, one thing that has happened to you since we did the interview is you got the house in Belize locked down. So you're one of only, like maybe 2 or 3 that have a house outside the country. Let's find out. You ready? If you have a house that's outside of the United States, can you raise your hand? I see Muta, Nicole, outside the United States. And Reed, where's James? I know James Reed has got stuff in Costa Rica, which is kind of United States. Yeah, and your husband raised his hand. Timothy. So, so Kim, tell us about the house in Belize, and have you got to experience it yet? You got to spend some time down there since the closing?
Yes, we closed on it August 2nd. And we were going to close on it while we were back in the States, but it ended up we were actually in Belize when we closed on it. So that was fun.
And did you now? One thing that was unique is that you said that there in Belize, you didn't have to be a real estate agent to do real estate.
Yeah, you don't have to be licensed to be a real estate agent in Belize, which is really interesting. There are some laws possibly coming into place where they might change those rules, but for right now, you don't have to be licensed. You just have to have residency and a work permit. So, but we got a pretty good deal. We got seller financing for 3 years. We looked a long time before we could actually find somebody that wanted to play ball with us. So we're super stoked. So anybody that's wanting to come and travel to Belize, hook us up, hook up with us after, and we'll give you a smoking deal.
Now, there's rumors that you guys are talking about starting your own real estate firm in Belize. Are these rumors true?
That is true.
Would it be called TKKW?
Not for sure on that yet.
I
But
like the initials TK, just so you know.
we just are kind of getting those plans in motions right now. So it's a process. We'll see where it ends up. I'm kind of excited about it. I hope it works out. I would love to have a brokerage in Belize.
Now, are your grandkids and children are going to come down and visit the place and hang out?
They have not yet, but yes, that is on the calendar for them to come down.
Oh, are they excited?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh man, I love it. Is there anything that because our podcast was so new, and I think that you're up to about 400 or 500 views in the last two weeks of your podcast. Now, is there anything that was said that you feel was missed that you feel like you wish you would have said during the podcast? I know we recorded a couple months ago, but it just went out.
I can't even really remember, but
It could be too many old fashions.
no. Not really. I don't think anything is new. Just for all the investors out there, and I know a lot of you are doing it, I feel like a really good opportunity right now are the homes that have equity that are in foreclosure. And I know there's at least a handful of people in this room right now that have stopped people from foreclosure, gave them money to walk away, and have gotten a good deal themselves. So it's a win-win. The notice of default is really increasing, so I think it's a really good opportunity for everybody in this room to get some smoking deals while they're helping, people out of a bad situation.
I tell you what, I bought my first deal off the MLS in the last 2 months, and I bought a duplex in Little Bohemia.
Yeah.
With Tanner over here, and we were able to get $20,000 off the list price on the MLS. So there's deals right now if you find them.
There really are deals. I heard of an agent that had a listing and somebody offered them like $60,000 less, and the seller took it. And the agent advised that seller that was really a bad offer, and he said, "I just want to be done." So yeah, I think that finding deals on the MLS are definitely coming back.
Awesome. Well, Kim, thanks for everything. Thanks for your knowledge. We appreciate you so much. And I'm gonna turn it over right over here to Riley Eccles.
Hello.
Riley, bring it in over here.
Okay.
Okay, Riley. How old are you today?
16.
How old were you when you did your first presentation at the Omaha REIA?
Was I 14?
14.
Okay.
So Riley was our youngest presenter ever at Omaha REIA at 14 years old, giving her first presentation. But at that time in your life, it wasn't like it was new to you because you already been on stages that were way bigger than our stage.
Yeah, when I was 11.
Yeah. And what has been going on since the presentation and since the podcast in your life?
I was able to flip my first house by myself.
Flip your first house! Yes! High five! How'd you come out on it?
I earned $22,000 in profit.
$22,000 profit, and I heard your real estate agent is somewhere really close, right?
Yes.
Kim Stevens. I just thought about that. That's pretty good, huh? She talked about you on the podcast. Did you hear about
Really?
it?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't been
She's
listening.
like, I can't say how much money she made, but she did good.
I feel like this is a safe spot to say.
Yes, safe spot. So you got your first house flip. Tell me something, because we got really deep in the conversation about you on the podcast, actually, and we were wondering, like, didn't we talk Kim about how we thought she'd be a millionaire by the time she's 18? And
All the other kids would be going to college, and she'd just be rocking out being a millionaire by 21 or something.
now, do you plan to be a real estate investor right when you get out, or do you have
Yeah.
college plans, or what are you gonna do?
No, I have already talked to my parents. I don't really want to go to college because I don't want to deal with all the debt, and I just don't feel that college is for me, especially since I know so much about real estate. But
What were some of the best tips that your dad gave you to bring you up into real estate investing?
To what?
To get you into real estate investing?
He's told me a lot of things. Like, of course, he's got the eat the frog, so you get stuff done faster. And one of the biggest takeaways is that, one of the things that I've learned from my dad is that you can always make more money, but you can't get back your time. And I always keep that in the back of my mind because I want the time for me and my family when I'm older. And not just have it all working without, that financial freedom.
One thing that I think about when I think about you is the fact that there's all these people in the room that say, I can't do real estate investing because I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the knowledge. And if 16-year-old Riley can do it right now, and she can flip a house and get her own hard money loan, find the contractors, I'm sure her dad helped her a little bit with getting the contractor connections a little bit. No, you did it all yourself. I'm taking credit away.
Networking and stuff.
Networking. I sorry.
You're okay.
And you can go to school full time. Do you work
Wrestling.
Also? You do wrestling. And you're bodybuilding.
Yeah, I also lift at the gym and stuff.
And you're doing all this, and you make time to still flip a house. All I gotta say is it kind of reminds me of the NF song "No Excuses."
I have a question for you. Is your boyfriend intimidated by all of your success?
Is your boyfriend intimidated by all your success? Was the question.
Actually, it's funny because we were drawn to each other because we're very entrepreneurial, both of us. So I just like the hardworking aspect that I find in him. So, yeah.
There's going to be a day that everybody in this room is like, I knew Riley Eccles, and when you're becoming a big deal. So I'm just really impressed with you. And everybody, I mean, you're one of the only few claps I heard. So give it up for Riley Eccles.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bring in Rob Church.
How do you follow that?
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so
16?
one thing I know that's happened with Rob Church since it's happened is you started your own REIA meetup over in Plattsmouth.
Yeah, we started a REIA meetup in Plattsmouth.
You're always looking for speakers, presenters.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody who wants to speak at Rob's meetup in Plattsmouth, Nebraska, like Riley Eccles, maybe.
It is exactly 20 miles south.
What days do you guys meet on?
Second Tuesday of the month.
Second Tuesdays of the month.
At a restaurant, bar, everything's there. You can eat, you can drink. It's a nice place.
You're only one of like a handful of people, a very small handful of people I know that does trailer home parks.
If it's got
is that proper way to say it? Trailer homes?
Trailer trash equals cash.
I didn't say. I get in so much trouble when I say anything like that.
We like it.
Okay, so in your trailer park business since we talked.
This year we've brought in two new mobiles, not new but new to us. 2-bedroom, 1-bath mobile home is now renting for almost $1,000 a month.
That's some money, man.
How do you
flip the trailer homes also on the property if somebody leaves it or sells
Yeah,
it to you?
if I acquire it, we'll fix it up.
Is there money in that?
Rent it? Yeah, it can be.
I've had multiple people bring me trailer parks, or not trailer parks, trailer homes for flipping.
Because if it stays where it's at,
yeah,
you can make some money by either selling it to
If you
the
don't have to
tenant-
move it.
If you don't have to move it. If you got to move it, you're probably not going to make a bunch of money. If you got to pay $15,000 for it, you're not going to make any money.
Okay. And it's something that was 1990s or newer. What's a mobile home go for?
It depends, but if it were me, I like the pitched shingle roof.
Double wide.
No.
I just like to say double wide.
Just the pitched shingle roof, so that it has a solid top to it, not the round metal roofs. Vinyl siding or the hardboard siding, because you can at least keep it dry. And that's the key, is keeping them dry.
Keep it dry.
Keeping it dry.
Keep it dry, make cash.
Yep.
What's one thing you want to tell everybody that's happened in your business since the last time we've been on?
Last time I was on,
Episode 40.
number 40.
60 episodes ago.
We've bought a few more houses. We fix and flip full time now for 2.5 years. And we've sold a couple houses and we bought a couple more. So
Awesome.
we're in good shape. Can't complain.
Well, I can't wait to hear the story when you have another mobile home and you can tell us that, man.
Yeah, I got one for you.
Okay. Well, with that, let's bring over Nate Eccles. It's just miraculous. I just interviewed another Eccles, Nate.
No crap.
So, Nate, the biggest bomb that has dropped in your life since you've been on REIA Radio episode 44 was the fact that you
Quit my W-2.
quit Nebraska Furniture Mart, baby. Yeah, high five. Okay, so what's happened in your portfolio since that moment?
All right. Since then, I picked up another Airbnb. Just did my first sub-2 deal like a week and a half ago.
Did you get advice from Travis Banks on that one?
Yes, I did. Thanks,
Travis Banks.
He's not paying attention.
Yeah, you lazy wait.
And then started down the multifamily route. Have a 6-unit in South Dakota under contract and have offers on some bigger deals.
What kind of big deals?
48-unit in Iowa and a 23-unit in Kansas are the top of the.
I am so proud of you, brother. Kicking butt, raising a great daughter, doing some great stuff, man. I mean, people look up to you and what you're doing. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you guys are square. If you guys are scared of quitting your job, I got permission from Nate to say this. Nate was making $140,000 a year at his job, at the big wig at Nebraska Furniture Mart. You tell me that you're not scared to leave your big ass job. Look what he has done. It takes some big kahunas to do that. And it wasn't. And I was the biggest advocate. I'm like, leave your job, leave your job, leave your job. And then he drops this bomb on me. He's like, dude, I was making like 140 grand there. I'm like, holy. Nate, I mean, I'm completely impressed with what you're doing. The role model that you've set for your daughter makes us all look at you and how you've raised Riley to all want to be like you. And I am proud to call you a friend. Owen Dashner, do you have one thing you want to say to Nate before I send him on? Left his 140K job, raising a daughter to be real estate.
Well, thanks for asking me right when I took a big mouthful of.
I like it when
bourbon.
you look like an ass.
What was the question?
You have anything for Eccles?
Do I have anything for Nate Eccles? Nothing but love for this stud up here who took the leap, jumped out of the airplane, built the parachute on the way down. I love you, buddy. I'm so proud of you. I am amazed at all of you have accomplished with you, not only your own growth, but your daughter, and you've given her the guiding light into this freakish world of real estate investing. And nothing but love, man. Good job.
Yeah,
love all of you.
Still building the parachute.
Owen, will you come here real quick? Okay, so I'm gonna bring over Michael Freed. And Michael, come over here, buddy. The reason I brought you over here, Owen, is if you listen to our podcast, episode 1, is our intro to what REIA Radio is. Episode 2 is our first episode. So it's only fitting that we are both here to interview Michael Fried.
Hi. Way to put the pressure on, Ted.
I think I speak for everyone in here with thank you for not shaving the entire time I've known you. Big Papa Stash.
Why would I do that?
Yeah. So, Michael, what's been going on since the last time we talked to you, which has been a while now? So you, at the time, had bought some rental properties. You were doing a kind of a live-in flip situation, and now you are doing what?
Now, let's see. Since then, I've bought a few properties. I picked up a couple duplexes, fourplex.
You're sweaty.
And a few single-family homes. One of the big things that I wanted to do was get my son involved, who he's got Asperger's, so high-functioning autistic. But he's a partner on 2 different houses with me now already, and he's got a bunch of money saved up. We're going to buy another one.
How old is he?
He's 24.
Incredible.
But you have gone above and beyond that. You've now included your other son and your brother, right?
Correct. So my brother got in on 2 deals with me, and then my youngest son has joined in as well, and he's 20. And so I just got one more son to get involved.
Is he going to jump on?
I got to work on him.
And you have also created some other partnership groups from last time we talked.
Yeah, actually, my best partner, Ed Schnazi over there, he's we've got probably like 6 more properties now together, and just a great partner.
So one thing I gotta say about Michael Fried is he's got a lot of feel-good stories. So he's like, I got my 2 kids, I got my brother, I got my best friend involved, but you also do sober living homes. You have created 3 sober living group homes since the last time we chatted. Can you give us a quick recap of that before we turn over to Owen?
Yeah, so 2 sober living homes out in Norfolk and 1 in Omaha, and I would like to buy several more. Oxford House has been great to work with, and I definitely will continue to work with them.
One thing I am, and let's give a shout out, you're also a real estate agent.
Correct.
An investment real estate agent. What are you looking for clients, and how can you help people?
For clients, I would say people that are ready to pull the trigger on some of their first properties, that are going to do value add type situation. So I can walk the property with you, figure out exactly like what kind of work is going to need to be done. I've got a lot of contacts that I've been working with and have worked with in the past. So
can I ask you one question that always comes up? If I work with you, Michael Fried, how do I know that I'm not going to get a good deal and you're going to steal all the good deals?
Okay, a few of the deals that I've bought, I've shown to clients first. And I said, if you're not going to buy this, yes, I'm going to put an offer in. And when they didn't pull the trigger, I did.
I love it. Thank you, Michael Fried. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being episode number 2, baby. Owen Dasher, back to you, buddy.
You're hot. Coming in hot.
The mic, not you, with your shaved face. So, Colin Schwartz, what have you been up to, man? Since the last time we talked, we took a little hiatus from Colin Schwartz's Omaha real estate meetup to, let the summertime enjoyment flow. And now we're
the summer vibes.
The summer vibes.
Yes.
Now we're back in September. Is that right?
Yes, September
Okay.
20th.
Omaha real estate meetup. Where is it? What is it?
All right, guys. So Omaha Real Estate Meetup, we're coming back at Cunningham's, which is on 108th and Dodge. They got great wings. Food will be provided for free. We are going to have sponsorships this time. Dundee's going to be sponsoring. The first speaker is going to be Jason Belt. He was Secret Service, an Olympic athlete, and has raised over $30 million in the past couple years. So if you want to know about raising capital and talk to a really interesting guy that's great at sales, he'll be there September 20th, 6 o'clock.
Secret Service agent
For Bill
and
Clinton. It's
Olympic
hilarious.
athlete?
It's
I didn't know
hilarious.
any of this.
Yeah. It's hilarious. You should hear his stories about Bill and Hillary. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts.
Okay, Colin, give us a quick recap. What's 2023 look like for you?
2023 business-wise, I should know the exact unit count, but we've closed on about 300 units this year. Liquid lending, which we're partners of, has just continued to explode. We have $17 million lent out all the time for hard money. We have been selling some assets as well. One thing that we haven't been doing is refinancing properties. So I'm just curious, how many people here are refinancing right now? Is everybody still able to pull off refinances? No?
Anybody
Everybody's
done
still-
a refi in the last 2 months? Anyone?
Or
Drew
6 months?
Zaruba, sitting alone at a table.
Maybe we should sit at this table.
Yeah,
then.
no kidding. That's how you know you're at the wrong table, is when there's one refi done in the room and it's not you.
Yeah. So what I would say is that we've had to change the strategy of our business. The type of debt we're looking for, we're either looking for creative financing, which means we want a seller carry, meaning the seller is providing a portion of the note, which helps us increase our returns, or we're just actually assuming the debt. So we are purchasing a property in Sioux Falls that should be closing in about 2 to 3 months or so. It's a HUD loan assumption, and it's at 2.62%, and that's fixed until 2029. So when you start getting debt like that, you can start to make the numbers work, because what we found is sellers still have unrealistic expectations and prices aren't dropping.
No, that's
at least
great.
not a lot.
I love that you said that. So we've entered a time now when creative finance has come back in vogue. Like we talked about in the teaser at the beginning of the podcast. I love what you said there. Anybody that wants to know more about multifamily syndications and investing as a passive investor in smoke and deals, how can they reach you, Colin?
You can just reach out to me on Facebook or Colin at 11wealth.com, or just find my number.
You have a really good podcast too. What's that called? How can people find it?
Yeah, it's called Keeping It Real Estate with Chris and Colin. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's pretty good. Yeah, we got some good guests. We had a really good first guest. Owen.
Was Colin and Chris not available? You had to go with Chris and Colin?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad.
He just wanted to go first.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out, man. Great to see you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Owen. Thank you, everybody. Ted, you're the man. Good luck, Denless.
All right, Matt Watson, you're on the hot seat. What's up, man? So Matt Watson, look at this guy, everybody. So he is kind of agoraphobic, maybe a little introverted. Last time I saw him, he looked like the Unabomber with a beard that was about beardy Brandon length. What have you been up to? So he's been quietly buying all of Omaha while you guys are freaking sleeping. Multifamily investor, crazy scale. Brothers are his business partners. What do you got? I haven't talked to you in a while, so I really want to know what you've been up to.
It's been a long time, and I'm not sure why I get to follow Colin of all people, but I appreciate that.
Well, he didn't say anything very good.
I suppose that's true. Everybody here knows Colin. Nobody probably knows me because, like Owen said, not the most outgoing individuals, but I love to try to get out and meet with you guys, and I appreciate you having me here. So yeah, what I've done last the year or so, or a year and a half since we've been together, or we did the podcast, bought 4 more apartment buildings. I think at that time we were at like 130 units or something like that between John and I. We've done some 1031s between now and then. We bought 4 more, and now we're at like 220, something like that we have in house. So
okay, so for those of you that were talking over Matt, and I know who you are, yeah. Matt just said he owns 220 multifamily units that he has grown without the help of syndication. Okay, so if you guys want to know how to scale in-house, hire your own staff, and go it alone, and really ramp up using leverage of hiring people, this is the guy. Like, he's the guy. So get to know Matt. Say hi to him before he walks out here because he's getting the hook right now. You're up next, Shay.
I don't have 220 units.
Love you, Matt. Thanks for coming, buddy. It's not too people-y in here.
That's awesome. Yes.
Shay Spitz,
Hello.
it's been a bit. So Shay and I met at BP Con in, where was that?
New Orleans.
New
But I don't
Orleans.
know if
See,
that was 2
we had
years
such a
ago
good
or 3
time.
years ago, I'm not sure.
Yeah, can't even remember where it was, when it was. So BP Con, I met Shay, and she is kicking ass in the Columbus, Nebraska market. For those of you that don't follow Shay, she puts out a shitload of good content, really active realtor, investor. Tell us about your last, say, 6 months, 12 months. What have you been up to?
Well, I actually made a big change from my old brokerage. That was a very tough decision to make. I went from a company and people that I was very familiar with to something that I was not. So that was a very uncomfortable situation. And I think everybody here, in order to grow, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So
Billy the Kid loves that.
what's that?
That's Billy the Kid's motto. Where is he? That's him. The power of being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I love it because I just realized that I was getting very complacent and comfortable with where I was at. And so did a little research and switched brokerages, but in the meantime have bought some other properties. But I think this isn't really a real estate thing, but I have started a real moms community. So it's resilient entrepreneur striving for abundant living. Because I found that especially moms as entrepreneurs, we really struggle. And I think no matter what level of success you are at, we all have those hard times. And I wanted to create a community of women where you can really come together. So Jill came with me, and I've known her for a while, but we've really gotten to be a lot closer along with many other women to really help one another kind of get through those tough times, especially as a mom trying to balance life and kids and being a wife and whatever else we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you feel about the temperature level in here? Is it
It's
good?
freaking hot.
Yeah, it's,
like especially with 2 shirts
yeah,
on.
it is
It's awful.
hot real estate info coming at you right now. So Shay, that's awesome. Thank you for coming. Great to see you again.
Question: if anybody knows about developments and TIF funding, please get with me because we're working on a big deal of like 200 plus units, and I would love some more knowledge on that. So.
Who in here has done a deal involving tax increment financing? I feel like Ben Cat is hiding behind the pole back there, but he would be glad to talk to you.
Okay,
Thanks,
perfect.
Ben.
Thank
You're
you.
the best. Ron Kendall, come on down. What have you been up to, man? So tell us how the second or top performing Airbnb in the entire city of Omaha. Number four. Okay, that's fine. We can knock him. So anybody that's looking for a staycation, Ron Kendall has the place for you in Ponca. Is that right?
I do, in Ponca Hills. Yep. Been booked solid all summer, just like we always are. We do have the last 2 weekends in September. If you want to bring your kids there and swim, we have a hot tub, we have a game room, we have lots of fun stuff to do. So look us up under Amazing Home with Pool and Hot Tub. That's how you find us.
Amazing home with pool and hot tub. And I kind of put you on the spot with that. So I appreciate you rolling with the punches. So Ron, what else? So you have been a licensed realtor for a bit. You have done a whole bunch of stuff in real estate. What have you been working on the last year?
Okay, so the last year has been a great failing forward story. I'm sure of this. We bought into a cafe. And if you know the cliche about like the 2 best days to get a boat, the day you get it and the day you get rid of it, we started that cafe February 15th, and we are closing the doors this Sunday, and I'm so very happy about that.
Wait, okay, so it's still open.
It's
yes.
still open.
Can everybody in here flood your restaurant,
well,
or
you
is
can't
that not what you want?
You can't really flood it because it's at Elmwood Tower, which is a community for retirees. So you can't just go to the door and go, I want to go to Comfort Cafe, because I guarantee you the old people will not let you in that door. You would actually have to text Shauna or I, and we would come and let you in. And a lot of our friends have helped us and been super, super supportive. However, it's just not enough. It was Shauna's dream, and she kind of drugged me in there, and I was working there 3 days a week, and I told her last week, I'm not doing that anymore. And she said, I don't think I want to do it anymore either. So this is not the first time I've lost money, and I hope it's not the last, but I'm not getting any younger. Man.
If 2023 had a tagline, that would be it, I think, for most real estate investors. So, well, hey, great seeing you again. I know you have a lot more to share than that. Sorry we don't have a whole lot of time. Thanks, Ted. But appreciate you coming up, man. Good to see you. Steven Sykes in the house.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, man? Good to see you.
Great to be back.
So let's catch up. You have done a whole lot of stuff in real estate. You've been to Israel, lived in a cave briefly for 2 days, I think. Did some really cool travel from the Pacific Northwest for a bit. What have you been up to? So what's the last year look like for Steven Sykes?
Summer has been great. Lots of time with family, traveling. Got my kids, 2 boys, 14 and 16. Interested in real estate. I got them mowing yards at properties around
Perfect.
Lincoln and Omaha.
Manual labor.
Yep, it's great for them. They make money. It's great for me. I get to spend time with them and get to be outside.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm a part owner of Quick Draw Lending. So Quick Draw Lending is a hard money lender here in the great state of Nebraska. We're lending around 6 states in the Midwest right now. Started with myself and 2 partners at about $1 million about 2 years ago, and we're up to about 10 million right now lent out. So also love the business, one that you share as well. And it's honestly, it's just a lot of fun to work with folks that need capital and are doing great things. Outside of that, I run Cascade Commercial. So I'm principal broker. We do primarily commercial brokerage. Let us know if you ever have a commercial brokerage apartment or similar need. And then beyond that, I'm a syndicator. Syndicate Apartments, ended up buying about 50 units a couple months ago. And then last time I was here, I think we had just closed on the Lincoln portfolio, about 170 units.
Yeah, awesome. So you are a syndicator. You buy deals primarily in the Midwest, Omaha, Lincoln, surrounding areas, Sioux Falls.
That's true.
And so you look for typically a good contact for you might be somebody that's interested in investing in real estate, but maybe not being active in it. Is that fair to say?
Sure. From the passive investment side, that's a perfect description. Let us do the work and make you money. That's kind of how we want to start it. But also, since we was here last, partnered up with some guys that I've known for a couple years, and we started a distressed debt fund. So the goal of this fund is a $50 million fund. We want to buy $250 million in assets over the next 2 years, primarily in the Sun Belt states and up into the Midwest. So These guys are California and Texas. So Arizona, Texas are our 2 primary markets. If you find any deals that you don't want to close, we're looking for 150 units and more, primarily A-class. We'll also look at B-class assets as well.
Awesome. So, all right. Great seeing you, man.
Congratulations on your 100th episode.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Back to you, Ted.
Oh, and you can come in if you want, just so you know. Because
I'll sit over here and drink my old
I'm
fashioned.
gonna tell you right now, this group of tables, we just add up the numbers, and we have over 500 units at this table right now. 500 units, and we're starting off with Drew Zeruba's 11.
Really pulling the weight in here.
So I'm gonna give the shout out. I'm gonna give the shout out to where the shout out to dude. Drew, you are still in the top 5 podcasts we've ever had.
That's impressive.
So Drew Zeruba was first on the podcast at the age of
21.
21 out of Kearney, Nebraska. Real estate agent at the time, still are.
And still, yep.
And you had a couple of properties. And Owen, what was the famous line we used with Drew Zeruba when it came to renovations?
Oh, 6 feet construction.
6 feet construction.
Hey, we're down to like 6 inches construction.
Oh, wow. That's what she said.
That's what I was waiting for. So Drew Zeruba now tell me what has happened. You've had some cool things happen since you've been on.
Yeah, since I was last on, so I was on in March of
episode 26.
Yeah, 26. So I was on in March of 21 or 22.
Sounds right.
22. So I had 2 duplexes at the time, and since then I bought another duplex, a barn dominium or a house.
What's a barnuminium?
It's basically it's a barn or a shop, and then it's got a living quarters in it. And so I use that. It's kind of a house hack because I live in it, but then I rent it out for events.
Okay. Like fraternity events?
No fraternity events. Just too much liability on that.
I went to UNK, and you can't spell flunk or drunk without UNK, is what I always say. Yes, very true. Ask my mom. And I remember going to some crazy barn party and drinking goldfish at a barn party. Maybe that was your place. I don't know.
I don't think that happens anymore, but that's Ted, guys.
It's an age thing. See, why has said it happened? He's still in his 20s. Come on, man.
Okay, well, this place was built in 2020, so I don't think it was probably that place.
Yeah. I think I was there in 2020. So tell me what else, what are you looking forward to in your portfolio? What do you got going on?
So this past summer, I bought 4 single-family houses. I've just been burring all of those. I got 2 on market, 2 off market. And so that's basically what I've just been doing. That's my basically full-time job now. I'm the GC on them. I do a majority of the work. I have an electrician and a plumber. But other than that, I do a majority of the work.
Everybody I talked to in Kearney, I name dropped, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you know Drew Zaruba? It is probably because you are the one that started the Kearney meetup down there, which is on pause, but I heard from a grapevine that you're bringing that back.
Yeah, a friend convinced me to bring it back, so I guess we're going to go full send on that.
I know a ton of people that could come speak if you need it. So maybe I could travel with them down, and we could get a hotel and relive the old good days.
I was gonna say I drove out here today, so I think there's some favors that are due.
If you need a room tonight, they're only $99. Or I got some Airbnbs I can hook you up, bro.
There we go.
Cool, awesome. Thanks for coming out, Drew. Thanks for being episode 26. Okay, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of Kearney, Nebraska, you just locked down 107 units, Tanner Sherman, in Kearney. Is that a true statement?
It is. We had the LOI accepted probably 4 months ago, and we've been negotiating the purchase agreement for a long time. And as of tomorrow, we'll have the purchase agreement under contract and be raising about $4 million for it.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome. So what has happened in your portfolio and in your life? Any more babies since episode 13?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
Nicole, do you hear that? Did you hear that, Nicole? She just gave you the look, man. Okay, so
that means more babies.
You were one of the first of the many big families to come on to the podcast. How many children do you and Nicole have?
We have 7.
7 children. Just retired from the military.
I didn't retire. I got out early.
It's kind of retirement, right?
Without the pay.
Yeah, without the pay. Okay. So thank you for your service on that. And tell us what else is going on in your career. What's going on?
So my wife and I started a real estate team under DVG Realty, and
which is called
Top Tier Pro Team.
How many people do you have on your team?
So we have 5 right now. Actively bringing on about 3 more, and our main focus is just training agents on how to teach clients how to build a wealthy life, not just build wealth.
Awesome, man. I love that. If you could give anybody one tip when it comes to buying their next investment, what would it be?
I would say just keep talking to people about what you want to do. Is, starting out, we get so scared that we don't know everything that there is to know, that we don't feel we have any basis to talk to anyone about it. But the more people you talk to about it, the more it'll just come to fruition. So I just say just keep bringing it up to people, and amazing things happen.
And as an investment real estate agent, what kind of clients are you looking for?
We primarily work with out-of-state investors, people that are looking to buy their first property, and our goal is to help them go from buying their first property up to being an accredited investor that wants to invest in our larger deals.
Awesome. Tanner, I appreciate you. I love what you and Nicole are doing. You guys got a lot of things happening. I love the trainings that you guys are doing with your agents all the time. And I believe that their next guest, Ryan Miller, is one of the people that is coming on your team here very soon. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan is he's been doing a lot of underwriting for us. He's actually the one that found the Kearney apartment homes through the underwriting, and decided that he wants to get his real estate license and start helping others, build wealth through multifamily.
Awesome. I appreciate you having on. I appreciate you. And if you guys guys are looking for some insight when it comes to numbers of, as far as like getting into a deal, breaking down a deal, there's really nobody I know better than Tanner Sherman to get those deals and those numbers worked out. So appreciate you very much, brother. Cool. Thanks for coming out. Ryan Miller.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to REIA Radio, episode 54 with Ryan Miller.
Yep.
Ruben has had a couple drinks. He loved that. So another I should say, I don't want to take credit. Another military person that we've had on the podcast. We appreciate your service. You recently came out. You gave me that look. Yeah, I wasn't trying to take credit.
No, you're good. So, I understood what you're saying.
Yeah, but one thing we find is that we've had so many people on the podcast that have a military background, especially with intelligence. That's right.
I was actually avionics, electronics, and
okay,
fun stuff like that.
I was just joking about that. I
Yeah.
must listen to different podcasts.
IT crap.
What you've had a very, very fast start to your investing. What's your portfolio look like right now?
So since then, it actually hasn't grown. I had an 8-plex under contract. They kind of done a flip on it, tried to get creative with financing. They basically put lipstick on a pig, and it just wasn't, the deal wasn't worth it, in my opinion. So I walked away from that one. And so since then, just kind of been trying to stabilize portfolio. Market obviously took a shift. And so just looking for deals, creative financing, like Tanner alluded to. I did the underwriting for the corny deal that they have. Tried to start getting into larger stuff like that. I actually start on Thursday, going back for my MBA in finance. So dive into that. One of the perks of being in the military, you get the GI Bill, and they pay for you to go to school, so might as well use it and get the free MBA out of it. So I'll be focusing on that, and hopefully that'll help me more with underwriting and diving into deals and helping people grow their portfolio.
One thing that I know that you've done recently, you started your own REIA group. So now you're heading up the rookie REIA group. You took it up from Megan Ahern and Jeff Ahern. You went to Brandon Turner's event.
Yep.
What do they call that?
It was Maui something. I don't remember what it was.
What was Brandon's group called?
He has the Maui Mastermind. This was an offshoot of that. It wasn't part of that. But yeah, I was sitting down with Jeff and Megan down in Maui. And Jeff kind of dropped a hint like, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do now that we moved, because they moved spur of the moment out to Hawaii. And so I kind of thought about it, and I reached out to you and said, hey, I'd like to take this over if it's an opening, and so I think we've done 3 events now, so about 3 months.
So you showcase investors' renovated properties.
Yep.
And you will go ahead and go forward and say, hey, this is how much it costs to do this renovation. This is what we paid for the property. This is our expectations. And you have 20, 30 people show up, and they come into the property. Sometimes you even have the contractors that worked on the property talk about what they've done, expenses, so on.
Correct.
So if you guys want to check this out, go to Rookie REIA Omaha on Facebook. Join the group. You'll see all the content going out of order, or go to NebraskaREIA.com. We post all the events on the calendar there. So it's awesome that you've really taken that on. And you're also pursuing a real estate license to go into. What's your goal with that?
So really, it's just, like I said, I'm getting my finance degree and just kind of trying to roll all that into helping investors. And I don't really want to do traditional real estate. I want to do more investor focused and just kind of really help investors and look for larger deals. Just multifamily.
So Ryan, I have a question for you. I know a lot of people still are working their W-2s, investing in real estate. So when did you get to the point where you realized that you're ready to make the jump from W-2 to full-time real estate professional?
Yeah, so it is nice being retired military. So I do have income coming in. I got military VA disability for a couple things. So for me, it's a little different. I kind of resonated with Nate Eccles' comment, doing IT for the government. It pays pretty well, so it's hard for me to take that jump. But I think just being an agent, it's just that little bit extra spending cash to be able to pay for things for my family and get me into doing real estate full time. So that's really why I want to be. I don't want to be spending 2 hours in the afternoon on top of a W-2.
Well, one thing I can say is that now that you've done that, we have more time for cigars and old fashions at the cigar bar, buddy.
It's been a minute.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you coming out. Thanks for everything that you do for us, and I appreciate it very much. Satyam Mystery, the mystery. What was the nickname that we gave? The International Man of Mystery. We had so much fun on your podcast. We talked about oh man, what was Owen? You're laughing at me.
The danger of my car being parked out front. That's what we were talking about.
Did you get hate from the?
Apparently, I'm Ted's lifeline on this.
When were you not, Owen? When were you not? So there was a last name of every person that's ever been on. Yeah, come over here, Owen.
I was trying to be the guy behind the guy.
Hotel investors. Every hotel investor has the last name of. Hotel investors have the last name of.
It's
Patel.
Yeah, Hotel Patel Cartel.
Cartel. And you dropped that line.
Yeah.
And I've been laughing ever since I listened to that one. Yeah. So keep this real close so I can hear you.
Yeah.
So here's the first question I have for you right off the top. Who's going to give your eulogy and what are they going to say about you?
Who's going to give my eulogy and what are they going to say about me? Probably be my son, Bree. I hope he would say that I had a great portfolio of assets.
He's smart. I like that. Do you wish that we would have asked you that during your podcast?
Yeah, you guys weren't doing the questions.
We've changed questions
I wouldn't have had
3 or
that
4
answer
times.
for that time. I've heard so many.
Yeah, we switched it up a little bit. Thanks, buddy. So what has changed in your portfolio since the last time you've been on the podcast?
So I have 56 units now, a lot of small multifamily.
You had 11 at the time?
I think I had 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah. So, I've been able to utilize creative financing, traditional bank financing, master lease options. So I think in the market right now, we're seeing three things. We're seeing sellers still don't want to come off their price. We're seeing tighter credit, higher interest rates. But the third one that I don't think that gets mentioned enough is actually operating the property. Once you get the deal done, you got your financing place, then the actual work really starts. So we're also factoring those numbers in. So out of those three, financing, price, operations, one of those has to give to make deals work in this environment right now.
Like how are you finding the deals right now?
So a lot of my stuff has come off market, and I always used to wonder, how do people get stuff off market? And it's come through just constantly creating your own list and staying on top of those owners, which isn't really that much. I mean, you're reaching out twice a year. I've tried to make my stuff a little bit more personal. I will sometimes show up to their home and drop off donuts or give a personalized gift basket so I can stand out a little bit. And then also other methods like staying in touch with brokers, looking on market. And I think the important thing is then once you have some traction, you got to be able to act quickly and with, conviction. You got to know your stuff, have to be able to act when the opportunity is there.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Market is not the same as it was before.
Yeah.
Rates are higher. You can't get the deals the same way as you before.
I understand the relationship between rates and making deals work, but if you take a longer view, I think that really shifts the needle. Just because the rate is high doesn't make a rental property less attractive. The demand is still there. Supply is short. So, like I said, trying to figure out ways to make deals work in the short term and then having that long-term vision
and not passing on opportunities just because of the rate. I understand there's a relationship there, but I feel there's an opportunity for creative finance or other options because most people aren't buying because rates are high or can't make the numbers work. So you have to utilize that to your advantage.
So before we move on, are you still doing the Amazon business?
Not Amazon. It's still my own website. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Is that a big portion of your income still?
It's not. It's really real estate is my full-time commitment, passion, and focus.
I loved it when you talked about your first hotel, and you're like, "Hey, I put all my packages in one of the units."
Yeah.
But man, hey, I appreciate you. There's that first 10 episodes meant a lot to us. So I appreciate everything done. I appreciate your support continuously through since then, and I wish nothing but continued success for you.
Thank you. I listen every week. It's one of my resources to stay plugged in here in the local market. So I really enjoy what you guys do.
Well, thank you, man. Ruben Gomez. Did you like that?
Yes, I love it.
Did you have a question for Satyam?
No, I just want to say, like, I met Sammy about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is like the most persevering guy I ever met. Like, he just wants that one, like those kind of deals, and he will go after it day after day. So that's very admiring. And I just want to let you know that. Yeah.
There's some love. I love camaraderie here.
Yeah, let's bring the love in.
So one thing I can say from about Ruben is when I first got into the real estate business, I was working for Mike and Jerry Schlickburn, and you were the head project manager for Schlick Construction and come up with all the designs. At that time, you had really short hair, no beard, but you were creating some fabulous designs. But you had made a big decision at that point to move on from working for somebody to going on your own. And now you're at the point where, if I'm not wrong, are you still closing a deal a week?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's what we live for.
What does your team look like since then?
So we are 3 guys. We got an acquisition and lead management person, and then we have a disposition and a transaction coordinator.
Are those teams stay the same since then?
Yeah, names have changed, but for the most part, that's the structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's one area of that business that you would like to take to the next level? Like, what's the next position for Ruben in that business?
I don't really think that I need to achieve anything as far as our goal. Like, our goal is very simple. It's 1 deal a week.
And you're content with that for the next 20 years?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I love my life. I love what it allows me to do. And I know that if I continue to do that long term, I don't need to do anything else.
We had a deep conversation about family life, work-life balance. And I know for a fact that that's something you pride yourself on. So how much time do you spend in your business a day, and how much time do you spend for the family a day?
So I got hooked up on the 4-hour work week.
Wait. You guys hear that? Ruben's doing a 4-hour work week and getting a deal a week.
Well, that's it. Like, what is your return on your time? More than how much money are you bringing in every single month, right? Yeah. So, like, if you're just working a little bit, but you have a system, you have processes, and you have the right people on the right seats, you're going to be turning some money with doing a little bit of work.
How's real estate changed your life in the last 2 years?
Well, I got started in real estate back in 2013. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing if I wasn't in real estate. I love real estate. Real estate is going to be part of my life forever. And I do have other ideas. I have other businesses I'm creating, but real estate is always going to be there. I'm able to spend time with my family. I'm able to travel. I'm able to have fun, and all because of real estate and what I do.
I love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
I'm so happy for you. Keep it up, man.
This, yeah. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Wyatt Simon.
How's it going?
Wyatt, I gotta say that you probably made the biggest strides since the podcast. You were actually dressed as the little Colin Schwartz at one point, remember? And like,
yes, I do.
And you're like, I'm gonna pass him up.
Still
How's
working
that
on
process going?
Well, the last time I was on the
I say
podcast,
little for age-wise, just so you know.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm a little taller.
You're actually much bigger than Colin.
No, it's going well. Last time I was on the podcast, I had 70 units. Now I'm at 176 units. So Lord is good.
That's 106 unit increase since
That is-
episode what?
This guy does good math.
I'm a math wizard.
Episode 24.
So about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. Obviously, the market slowed a bit, but one of the biggest things that I did was I started a property management company and took everything in-house just because there was so much inefficiency with third party. So I'd say that slowed my growth down a bunch, but it also made the returns a lot better. And our efficiency is just a lot better. So we actually purchased a 36 unit, and within 9 months, we renovated 80% of the units and raised all of the units up to market rents.
What's the difference of owning the property management company versus hiring a property management company? What's the benefits?
Oh, I'm writing a book on it.
What's the benefits and what's also the negative things about it?
So the benefits of starting a management company is you get control. You get more efficiency generally because you'll be better when you're running the property management company. It may take some learning curve, but you'll get there. And so really you're just more control and efficiency and more money. You'll streamline things so that you're making more money. The negatives are obviously time. So if you're looking to scale really quickly, doing a management company is really going to slow you down. Like it slowed my growth, to be honest. Like I could have bought a lot more deals, but I didn't. You get, I guess what I'm trying to say is you can third party, save your time and scale quickly, or you can do it really efficiently and build something in-house that's going to last and have that run, but it slows your growth.
The only way I'd leave my property management company, which I use Orange Property Management over here in Austin, is if my wife actually stepped in. Because my wife is a hard ass, and there's no gray area. It's black or white. And unless I got her coming in, there's no way in hell I'm running that. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, I can tell you the biggest learning thing that I had this year was hiring the right people. So I had the wrong people working for me, and it was super painful. I actually passed out from stress this year. It was not a fun time, but I got the right people working for us now, and now I literally work 4 hours a week on property management, and we have 4 full-time employees, and it just runs streamlined. So it is not easy, but it is worth it in the long run.
Okay, one more question before we move over to Owen's table. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You presented here for a knockout crowd, 120 plus people at the Omaha REIA. At that event, you're like, hey, I will help some people coach. What has changed in your life specifically since the Omaha REIA event?
Yeah, it's been really rewarding just helping other people succeed. Shout out to Alejandro right there. That stud doubled his portfolio. Literally,
where's he at?
12-league program, doubled his portfolio. That guy's a stud, and he's young, and he's crushing it. So, yeah, it's just been really rewarding to give back and coach people. I'm actually doing a free boot camp coming up here in November. So reach out to me if you want to get in touch. I'm teaching people how to buy real estate, how to scale a portfolio, go from 0 to 176 units, 170K a month in cash flow, and I'm giving it away for an hour for free.
Awesome, man. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thanks, brother.
Keep it up. Stephen Ward, what is going on, brother?
How you doing, sir? It's good to see you.
Okay, since you've been on the podcast, episode 68, which it says right here, I know for a fact that you were calling Colin Schwartz up and trying to get him to, not Colin Schwartz, Owen Dashner, calling him up like, what are you going to sell? What are you going to sell? How many more Owen's properties have you sold since that podcast?
So that was October of last year.
Yep.
From a deal flow standpoint, deal that can be pinned, just pure capitulation. Still come across options, if you will, but we've actually the market correction has been so intense on, I would say like.
Just say it. Owen's properties aren't worth selling.
Yeah,
anymore.
I would say like mid-size apartments, like maybe under like 24 to 100 units are not selling generally as much these days. So we've actually we've dialed in on other different asset classes,
which is
big box retail, junior box. The buyers we're working with are corporate backed buyers, so publicly traded REITs, and they're a little difficult. they're not my favorite buyer by any means, but if you get them the right thing, I mean, they're going to buy it every time. And we've been blessed to have two deals since working with them November of last year. None of them have been in Nebraska. Since we last spoke, I can't recall the exact figure, but I want to say we were around 240 units managed. And about April or May of last year, I decided I wanted to grow our property management portfolio, not just take on stuff we sold. And today we're over 330. We're managing properties in 3 states. And
3 states. What states?
So South Dakota and Iowa, Nebraska. And as of recent months, we're taking on some Brewers darlings, if you will. Some of these properties, 2 of the 3 in recent months, actually, I sold, helped to interview the property management company, and then they just ran into the ground. One of the deals is so bad, I sold it to him. Occupancy rate was 96%, and the economic occupancy when we took it over about 5 weeks ago was about 55%. Yes, meth, crowbars.
I mean, that seems like pretty standard, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken a lot out of me. I've honest to God increased my Xanax dosage.
Those meth units are what's hard to clean out.
Yeah, I mean, squatters are.
They're probably Owen's units that you're doing. Everybody knows.
I can't say that I am, but the worst is when huge respect for police, huge respect for people to serve. But the worst is when you're in a market a little more confused, and I guess you could say there's a little more tenant leverage, and the cops don't really want to help with trespassers, and it makes it really difficult because it just makes it a lot more difficult.
Well, on a personal side, since episode 68, you've had a baby.
Actually, I that would have just been amazing. However, I wish I could say that I had another, but we weren't actually pregnant at that time.
Oh,
I was just there were blue rhinos. You know what I'm saying? Tequila. I mean, we were trying to get it done. But we are going to be nesting in Fort Lauderdale. Like last week, October. We'll be there till about late May. She wants to be in a little warm climate. I think the conditions should be right.
So you guys got 2 kids now?
Yes. We'll be pregnant by January. If God will allow.
How many babies would be in the Ward household if it is up to you?
I mean, if it was just purely choice, I mean, it would be just shameful not to have at least 5. Based off my wife's age and just the likely circumstances of business growth, and I'd probably say there's 3 to 4 in the cards.
My wife was always like 1 maybe, or 3 maybe 5. I was 1 maybe 2, so we stuck at 2, man. Me and coverage.
Yeah, I mean, having children is so much cooler than running a business. I mean, it's not even comparable. It's like comparing. I mean, it's no comparison. It's like waking up, or taking shots at the club and dancing. I mean,
Give me the last 30 seconds here. Give me what you're looking for your business and how this group can help you.
Yeah, so I'd say probably areas of opportunity where we can enter unilateral agreements with investors, make it beneficially useful. Is we're taking on properties that just for management, third party, that they just require the right marketing arm, extensive attention to security. Sometimes it's as easy as just taking over from a shop that was embezzling money, and we're inserting integrity, and we're selective.
Sounds like the embezzling money will be a great future podcast.
You'd be surprised how dirty property management is. It's a very unregulated. It's in most states. Some states you need a real estate broker's license. Some states you don't. I will just tell you, specifically property management. It can be. I mean, like a lot of businesses, it can be kind of dirty. So we usually pick up the scraps, and I suspect in the near term we'll probably acquire a property management company. Already looked at a few on Biz Buy Sell. We've had a couple brokers reach out. But I got to say the equity in a property management company is pretty solid. from an EBITDA standpoint, multiplier. I mean, it's a good business. I have no problem getting an SBA loan or something of that nature. But I'll tell you, commission sales is pretty easy money. A little harder these days, but grateful for the management portfolio.
Awesome. Well, Stephen Ward, thank you for coming out. Appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you soon, brother. Hey, guys, just before I turn it over to Owen, we have a book over here called Wealth Without Cash. There is not one single card in this book, so if you want to get a book from Pace Morby, just pop your business card in here right now. We'll do the drawing when we're done. Also, if you're a sponsor on the side and you still have shirts to give away, can you raise your hands? DBG, Solid, JM, Trustworthy, Frankel, they all have free shirts to give away. So you just go to them, find out how you got to get a free shirt, and figure it out. Over to you, Owen.
So anyway, where is Senhal? About. Okay, these are all stage props, perhaps.
I don't know about that.
Hal Richmond, what episode were you on? Let's see it. 21, Loud and Proud. Look at this. Boom. Hal, what have you been up to in the last year, man? So last time we had you as an emergency stand-in podcast guest, which we are eternally thankful for. What have you been up to, man? You had if I remember right, you were literally on your way somewhere else and you diverted to come to REIA Radio, the illustrious studios that we have, and you maybe had a hole or a shirt with a few more holes in it, if I remember right.
Yeah, the
right?
shirt, the jacket. I was in work clothes. I was on my way to the flip.
Yeah. So, work clothes. What have you been up to in 2023? How's it treated you?
Since the podcast, I've done a few additional flips. I haven't acquired any other rentals yet, but all of the flips I've done have been with partners. I've had some great partners. Gerard Marginet, Debashish Ghosh and his wife, great partners. I've had a lot of people partner with me. Thank you.
Get that up in there. That's how they like it.
Mainly,
Anybody want to see more of this? They do.
Mainly, the biggest thing I've done is I found a wonderful bride that I got married to.
Look at her.
Almost
Just glowing.
1 year to
Look
today.
at her.
We got married a year ago, September 22nd.
Congratulations. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, awesome. Anything you want to like?
One of the biggest things I want to make sure everybody knows, if you want to partner with somebody, don't walk up and just say, hey, I want to partner with you on a deal. Have an idea of what you want to do. Make sure you know what the deal is, or at least have a deal structure in mind. I've had a ton of people in the last year and a half say, hey, let's partner together. Let's do this. Okay, what do you have in mind? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? No. You're coming to me. Come up with an idea or a deal itself, and we'll figure it out.
What does a good partner look like for you? Like, what do you like doing? How do you typically like to structure it, if there is a normal way?
There's no normal with me. It's really about the deal, what that partner wants. One partner had all the cash needed to do a deal, so I provided the management, found the deal. They, instead of getting bank financing or liquid lending, they provided all the cash to do it. Another, Gerard, he just wanted someone to take care of the project and get the work done. So he brought me in as a partner, basically a contract partner.
Awesome.
It varies.
So, Hal Richmond, ladies and gents, anybody listening out there that is rudely talking loud, Hal likes to partner with people that have basically they have a deal, they bring it to you. You can do a variety of things, so you're like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, it's however what works for the deal, what they're bringing to the table, what I can bring to the table to make the deal work. But you can't come to me blindly and say, let's partner up and do a deal together, and have no clue on what they can bring to the table and structure the deal as. They need to have some understanding of what's going on.
Okay, Hal Richmond, open to partnerships in real estate. Approach him with a plan. That's the message here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Always have some sort of a plan, and then we can work it out.
Awesome. Good to have you, buddy. Jose Pena in the house. Look at this collar on this guy. It's so festive. I love it. So, Jose, we had you on episode number 5? Oh my God, is that right?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago. So what have you been up to, man? So you've done a lot in the last couple of years, really.
Yeah.
So give us a rundown. What's been on the Jose Pena horizon for the last couple of years?
So we've done quite a bit of everything in regards to like partnerships, partner up. Ever since we talked at the number 5, we actually doubled our portfolio. So it's been some good 2 years. We started doing some Airbnbs. We actually got 3 going on that are going to be going live potentially in the next 2 months or so. So that's been exciting. I also hired for the first time this year.
Ooh, scary.
I know. Thankfully,
What position did you hire for?
Personal assistant.
Okay.
Personal assistant. I needed to
Yeah, you're like Heisman on your admin duties.
Tenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. So personal assistant has been great. Started doing our own marketing to find our own deals, which has been great. That's creating a deal funnel for our flips, for our holds. We don't really wholesale, but yeah, it's been good creating that funnel. So personal assistant. My wife is kind of de facto type of thing. She came with me, so she's been helping out a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's been a great help. And then from there,
I mean, you can't fire her really, but
no, but she can fire me.
That's true.
Yes.
My wife fired me today, actually.
Oh, that explains the.
I still have to take out the trash
drinking.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like all of that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
but yeah, so I got convinced by someone in this room to start a meetup. So we started doing a Hispanic real estate meetup, which has been exciting. I mean, there's been members in that meetup that walked into there with 0 properties are now like 1 or 2 or 3 properties. So that to me just makes it worth it,
I love that, man. So where is your meetup and when do they meet?
So it's the second Thursday of every month. We have a Facebook group, Bienes Raíces Fácil, Easy Real Estate, that you guys can follow. Sometimes we're at the houses that we're fixing. Sometimes we're at a restaurant. So we're usually at the Hacienda Real, like on 76 and Cass. But follow the real estate group, and there's the insight into where it's happening next.
Awesome.
So it's been great.
I've heard. So what I took away from that was dos cervezas, por favor. At where is the
Hacienda Real, and don't forget the 2 tacos. Dos tacos.
2 tacos.
Yes. And by the way, I'm asking you to be there and present, hopefully in next 2 months or so.
Oh,
so
God. I only took
dropping the
Spanish
bomb.
3 in high school, and I did not like my teacher, so I don't know how this is going to go, but I'll wing it.
I'm just giving you enough heads up so that you can learn more than 2 cervezas and 2 tacos, okay?
Well, I love tacos, and I love dos cervezas, so
And
we'll make it happen.
All right.
Thanks for coming, man. Good to
Thank
see
you.
you. Gerard Mongino. You like how I did that?
Oh, and Dash, I do.
Ted would have taken like 5 takes to get your last name right.
But hey, Ted didn't show up tonight, just like the last time.
Oh, shit. There he is. Sorry.
Just like
Never
last
mind.
time, Ted
I
didn't
thought he
show
was
up
out
at
of the
our
room.
meeting.
Yeah. Gerard, what's been going on, buddy? So last time we talked, you were reasonably freshly retired from being in the military for a number of years.
22.
22 years. Nobody's counting, but
A lot of years.
except for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to in the last year? Stuff's changed.
Yeah.
It's been a weird market.
Absolutely.
What have you been up to?
So I had a couple flips over the last winter that had a hard time getting rid of. But my goal was keep flipping this year, pay down debt. And as you know, I hate paying interest. I hate debt. So I was focusing on not having debt, or at least getting rid of some of it. And that was the goal. And I was definitely not going to buy any rentals. And then things happened. So I got an opportunity. Rentals happen, yeah. So I got a phone call one day, and a guy had an 8-plex for me. And I went, I don't want any part of that. And then we talked some more, and I was like, I'm going to have to go see that. And now I'm up to my neck in it. So I expanded my portfolio by 50% while intending not to buy anything.
Yeah. So now you have intentionally or unintentionally carved out kind of a niche in the Southwest Iowa market.
Yes.
in rental properties and acquiring stuff.
Yes.
Is that still your jam?
Absolutely. My goal is to someday be Clint Blackburn, but I don't know that I can get there. But
he's got big shoes to fill.
It really does. But yeah, no, I'm trying to buy a house here and a house there and a small building here and a small building there in your neck of the woods, and keep
It's
making
God's
money.
country. So Gerard Mangino looking for properties in Southwest Iowa. Anybody has any deals, hit him up, or me, whatever.
Absolutely.
Good having you, buddy. Great seeing you again.
I love that shirt. Where can I get one of those?
It's on Canva. It's my own personal design. I'll have several of these rolling out. I'm kind of a fashionista now.
That's gold, buddy.
Yeah, I got you. All
Who
right.
should we bring
Brad
up next?
Bader, quit ignoring me. Get up here. Brad Bader. to
Somebody
the
take this thing.
stage. Or Ben Cat. Apparently. Ben. Here's Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hey.
Ben Cat. What episode were you on? 81. So, Ben, you are so fun to talk to because you're like a variety. You're like a kaleidoscope of real estate deals. What have you been doing in the last, let's say, 6 months? That's probably been the last time we've talked.
So we got one more complex because we sold our North Omaha project, and half of that is going to full-time Airbnb. The other half will be long-term rentals. So we're really growing our Airbnbs right now. We also have a log cabin in Louisville that we're closing on next week. So
A log cabin.
big log cabin, yeah,
So,
on 12
yeah,
acres.
I love talking to you, Ben, because you do such unique deals. You've got a number of like unique properties around town that are like basically you have a lot of bars. So I think we can read between the lines here that you like to be around a lot of booze. So that's why you're at this table, not Ted's. No, all kidding aside. So how many Airbnbs do you have in your portfolio right now?
I think we're close to 50. We want to be 60 by the end of the year. 100 next year is our goal in the Omaha area.
If you could, so over the last, let's say, couple years that you've been involved in Airbnb, is there anything that jumps to mind where you're like, I'm so glad we learned that and we implemented that? Is there any like quick tips? And I'm asking selfishly because I only have one Airbnb.
Software has helped a lot.
Software.
So we've switched to Guesty, which manages all of our channels. We also got Price Labs, which automatic pricing, which we just signed up for that.
Price Labs?
Price Labs,
Okay.
yeah. And it'll update your prices nightly for all of your units based on your occupancy, how you typically do. If there's 3 days before, it'll be discounted, and we're seeing lots of last-minute bookings because of that. So it's brought in great money recently.
Awesome. So what are you doing in the next 6 months? Like what's on the runway ahead of you that you're excited about?
Same old, same old. Looking for
Looking for
deals,
value-add
which is
deals?
hard. We've got 1031 money we need to spend. Just getting more systems and processes, and we haven't bought a ton this year, so it's more getting our systems in place and trying to save time where we can and maximize rents. And we've been bumping rents crazy again this year. Student rentals are crazy high. We're bumping single-family homes $500 or $600 a month, which is crazy, but
Awesome.
same old, same old.
So Ben Cat, anybody that knows Ben knows that he's one of the most preeminent investors in Omaha. He's done so many different asset classes and types of businesses. So anybody that wants to talk about real estate with Ben, where can they reach you?
Email is probably the best.
Okay. What's your handle?
bencat1@gmail.com. So,
bencat1@gmail.com. I love
nice
it, man.
and easy.
Love it. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot.
Brad Bader, you're in the hot seat.
Hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Dashner.
Brad Bader, my brother from another mother.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
So this last year we played some golf.
Couple times.
We've gone on a couple trips. What have you been up to in your business lately? So you have a weirdly multifaceted portfolio of all kinds of complicated stuff. What? Give us your top two.
I'm not good at soloing in on something, that's for sure. So yeah,
multi-classes, storage units, warehouse, development projects. We're now pretty deep into some virtual assistants and building that team out. All of it kind of stems from paying for speed. It's kind of been a thing that I've tried to focus on for a couple years, and we usually end up fairly disappointed.
Can I want to just interject something. Anybody that's actually still listening to this,
there's only
Brad
3.
Bader hires and trains and then hires and trains, whatever.
Either way.
Virtual assistants for real estate investors. I see how I got that deep angle there. So Brad and his team have hired and trained VAs out of the Philippines for crazy low cost. Okay, so they do the hard work of getting people trained on what it is to be a real estate investor in the US. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you should listen, because this guy will make your life easier if you're a real estate investor and want to scale up. Just make your job easier, get out of the weeds, get out of bookkeeping, social media. Like, there's all kind. You name it, they probably have a person for that. So that's what I've loved about what you've done in the last year, but that's not all of it. So what are some of the other things? You're developing some properties in Austin, is that right?
Yeah, anywhere I can find.
You didn't want me to mention that, but
so yeah, development projects, land entitlement is kind of a big deal anywhere you're at. Land is land, but if you can find a use for it and get it through the proper authorities to make that use a reality, that land becomes exponentially more valuable.
If somebody catching this episode happens to be in the audience, what makes a good deal for you? Like, is there anything you're looking for in your business right now that somebody might come across and they're like, oh yeah, that Bader guy that is up there talking, that really good looking podcast host? No?
From the entitlement standpoint, like take Owen, for example. I mean, great piece of work to start with, but damn, if we could give
Some
him a
rough
little
edges.
more hair,
Rough edges.
a little bit bigger muscle, coax that shit in, be a lot more valuable. That's what I
fair.
try and do with land.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so now you also do flips, wholesales, buy and hold, multifamily. Like, you're kind of a jack of all trades. Is that fair to say?
A little bit, yeah.
So, I love all of your toolbox of solutions for all the problems that come up in real estate. You and I have gotten to be good friends over the last couple of years. We have an accountability call every other week that mostly you end up canceling because of, no, that's not fair. It's usually me.
Might be.
But no, Brad's a great guy. For any of you that don't know Brad Bader, get to know him because he is doing a lot of shit in Omaha, in and around Omaha, Austin, Texas. Like, you name a deal, he's probably had some type of hand in it. So I love Brad. You guys should get to know him. He's a little bit introverted, but you can tell he needs a friend. Look at him. He's married, though.
Thanks, buddy.
Sorry.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for coming on.
Let's get Frank out here.
Hey, while Owen gets the next guest up, there's a few sponsors with shirts left still. We're going to go around and see how they want to give shirts around. So there's probably about 10 shirts available for free. If you want a free shirt, hit the sponsors up and see how you can get it. We're going to give them away in a minute.
Frank the Tank Melville.
Ted, I want to hear
is-
you say that.
Who is also responsible for most of this carnage
Can
on this table
I have
right
one
here.
of these?
Just so we know.
Only that I
Can I have
found
one?
it and
Yeah,
brought it up.
that's yours,
This one
actually.
here?
That one has a roofie in it. That one's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one's Frank drinking?
That one's mine.
I'm drinking that
one's
one.
mine.
Can I jump into this with you guys?
Yeah, of course. So, Frank, I don't know if you know this, but someone commented on your podcast episode that at 1.5 times speed, you sound exactly like Jason Bateman. I think that's right. Is that right?
I heard that.
I'll take that.
Off
take that.
Ozark. So, anyway,
That
for those
sounds
of you
good.
looking for some entertainment later tonight, and I know you are, listen to Frank Melville episode
15.
15.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize he was so early in the podcast.
Very early. Yeah.
Oh, and I
He's one of
appreciate,
the OGs.
I appreciate you talking like there's still people out there. Yeah.
Well, we still have our
Sure.
live cast
Thank you.
going right now, just so you know, Frank.
So Frank,
Yeah.
we talked last. You had so much stuff going on in Colorado. You had complicated family real estate ventures in the hotel business.
Right.
What's been going on in your world in the last year and a half, 2 years?
Oh man, well that complicated Section 355 tax-free corporate division.
What's that mean?
What?
Yeah. So far the IRS hasn't said anything to us, so we think we're good. But they had 7 years, so 5 years to tell us, hey, you fucked this up. Oh, did I say that? You messed this up. Give us $5 million. But other than that, we're good. Yeah, we're sleeping really well at night. Yeah.
Now, what part of Colorado do you live in?
I live in the Denver area.
Denver area.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Grew up in the mountains in Colorado.
Are you looking for anything in your business right now, or
We're
just
looking
in
to
general?
start making money. Yeah.
Making money?
Yeah.
I think we all are. I think we can all agree on that.
My question is, how is that golf course doing in California?
Oh, the one thing that's doing really well is Half Moon Bay, California. Yeah.
Have you gone golfing under yet?
I don't know about what you're talking about.
He owns a
right
golf
now.
course.
You just got to talk to Ted and get hooked up.
I did not know any of
Half
this.
Moon Bay.
I haven't golfed in a year, but
California.
I'd love to go to the Owen down there.
I will book a ticket tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's
I
go.
cannot book a ticket tomorrow.
Okay. For selfish reasons, that's my like vanity thing that I eventually want to buy as a golf course. What are the pros and cons?
Well, I have no idea because it's just on a golf course. So
Oh, it's
Ted
on
was
a golf
misleading everybody here, and I was going to
Okay.
just roll
I
with
didn't
it
know.
until you said
Ted.
that. But yeah.
You
It
know,
is-
he already tried investing in Pace more because he's invested in some,
we do
in some
hotels.
golf company.
Yeah, we do almost all hotels.
All right.
Except for our 40 residential single family
Oh, except for that
in
small thing.
Omaha. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get to invest in Omaha, Nebraska when you're living in Denver, Colorado? You're in the hotel industry. Why mess around with our junk?
It's a great question. We had a giant 1031 exchange we needed to pull off, and there are 20 people in my family, and my assignment was a certain amount. And a buddy of mine from high school I hadn't seen for years, I just ran into him. He said, "Oh, I'm investing in homes in Omaha. Come out there with
Chip
me."
Heldman,
Chip Heldman, yes.
one of my long-term clients.
He's a great guy, but came out here, and sure enough, there's a 40 single-family home portfolio that's basically exactly what I'm looking to place, and we did it.
40 single-family homes. So did you look
All
at
at
all
once.
of them?
So, yeah. So we asked the seller, I want to see the 5 best and the 5 worst, and I think the seller showed us the 5 best and then the next 5, and not the 5
man.
worst.
You also had
Yeah, Austin's over there because he feels the pain every day. It's like, is this place really this shitty? I mean, we never saw it. Can it be this shitty?
But you also dealt with one thing that was kind of crazy. You had a hailstorm hit all your properties.
So we that hailstorm in June of last year of 22, we have 40 properties, 39 properties had damage of some extent.
So when you rolled up to that 40th house and you're like, okay, it's just another one.
Not me.
They got up on the roof and they're like,
Not me.
yeah, there's no damage here, sir. And you're like, bro,
Yeah, that
check
was
the photos.
so cool.
Austin, how was it to deal with that?
It was intensive. It wasn't bad. It was a lot of properties to get through, but we weathered it, didn't we, Frank? We're still alive.
Well, yeah, we weathered it. The first
Frank weathered it.
Okay, so the first contractor took all of the initial payments, did about a third of the work, and disappeared. No lie. I mean, this is that story from hell. Disappeared. And
Meth is a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah, I'd love to say the name of the company right now, but we won a judgment against him, but it's an LLC, and he managed to close it just at the right time.
Tanner Gordon over there.
This is the horror story. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre part for all those who have stayed up late.
We'll leave a little bit of detail when we get you back on the podcast.
Okay, all right. Anyway, it's been interesting, but thanks to Schlick, Solid, Orange, we're nearly back. Yep. I think we just finished. We're just wrapping up now.
Yeah, I think about from all that storm, I agree. I would say the situation was a worst case scenario, but we've definitely learned. Yeah. But learned we a lot of lessons, and we did our best to recoup money. We worked closely with Frank, and then Schlick and Solid came in to help finish up what didn't get done.
Can we talk about something else?
We have raised rents significantly on your portfolio.
Okay,
with the
there's a
rehabs.
silver lining here, Frank. We can talk you off the ledge. All right. Hey, thank you for coming into town.
Absolutely.
We love you.
Sorry to
Just-
rain on the parade.
Thank you for investing in our community. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Frank is one of the guys that flew in just for this event.
I know that.
Flew in today.
He's-
And here we
is he
go.
staying at your place? No. Oh, you didn't offer it.
Did not.
Okay, that's it.
My place is always open to you, buddy.
Tanner Gordon. Last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, Tanner Gordon. What's up, man? We talked to you. What?
I do have a question.
Okay.
On the podcast, you talked about your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Your new wife.
Uh-huh.
How did the new wife take the ex-wife conversation on the podcast?
Oh, she took it good because I got it knocked out on the first date. That's how you got to do it.
Nipped it in the bud early on. That's how you do it. So Tanner, what have you been up to lately, man? So you have been crazy busy. You've been working with a lot of investors, and then no, I'm working on my hard-hitting news anchor look. Is this working for me or no? Vote on
Hey, raise
Instagram.
your hand if you think Owen looks sexy in glasses.
That was only Gerard. Okay.
He
That was
has a thing
super
for you,
weird.
buddy. He has a thing
Hey,
for you.
we'll talk later. So Tanner, what have you been up to lately, man? So you've been doing you have a tape on your belt right now. Does that mean you're always at work?
Oh yeah, we just came from a job just 3 blocks up for $6.4 million that we're doing right now.
So you have a $6.4 million construction job that you landed,
Yeah.
and you decided to come here and grace us with your presence. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
And then
Man,
I got
dedicated.
I also got to shout out the fact that Tanner's the first business partner I've ever taken on real estate, and him and I did my first flip. Was that your first flip?
fourth.
Okay.
Fourth.
My first flip, your first flip, and
radio edit.
Just go with it. Radio edit.
Denless, work your magic.
My first partnership, though, and I got to tell you, Tanner, working with you and your attention to detail, your communication, and your speed were impeccable.
Thank you.
And any mistakes that were happened on that were on my end.
Well, we all know that. So Tanner, you are a Class A contractor, which means you can build ground up construction in the city of Omaha and the surrounding area. Yes.
Correct.
So if anybody is a real estate investor in this audience that needs work done on their project, what's your wheelhouse?
So right now we just hired 20 more full-time employees.
20 full-time employees on top of what you already have.
Correct.
So how many people do you have now?
We're at about 35. And then
35.
And then we have about 35 additional subcontractors full-time as well.
Okay, so for anybody listening to this, either in the audience or at home or wherever you are around the world, you can handle their shit, right? Like ground up construction, flips, remodels, whatever. You have unit turns, you're the man.
Yep, and one of the new pivotal changes we did in our business, because I learned it off of this multi-million-dollar job, we also do in-place residential construction, so you don't have to have your tenant out of the asset, and you can still get your rent and have your asset remodeled.
Okay, so you're saying that you could do a unit turn while someone is still in the unit prior to them vacating, and then they have to go through the typical, like it's vacant, we've got to remodel it, a couple weeks go by, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you advertise it, get it right? Like you're saying, you can eliminate a lot of the lag time.
Correct. It's a lot of planning. Everything has to fall in place.
Sure.
That's what it comes down to.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, you and Ted recently partnered on a deal. What did that look like? I'm really curious to hear both sides of this story because I've only heard his.
Yeah, on the duplex that we bought, we're going to turn that into one of the best Airbnbs or midterm rentals. We're going to make it the best.
Yeah, so there's some new ADU rules that are happening around Omaha, Nebraska, with allowing ADUs. And we bought a duplex right behind.
What's an ADU?
Additional dwelling unit.
Okay.
And this is right behind the Sokol Auditorium off 14th Street. So we bought a duplex that off the MLS.
Yep.
It was listed at 160, I believe. We got it for 140. We are looking at a renovation cost of about $65,000 for the initial job. Well, now that they've allowed ADUs, now that this lot is extremely long. There was a old foundation for a garage that goes to an alleyway in the back. Originally, we're looking at this property. We're like, oh, hey, let's clean this up. Let's create a nice little hangout area, maybe some hot tub, waterfall, go up and beyond. But now we're gonna look at doing a 2 or 3 car garage with a third unit on top, and we're looking at comps of close to 500,000 on this property now. And on this property currently, we bought for 140,000. Now this ADU is gonna add another 100,000 to the renovation from our original cost.
Is that a thing in Omaha? Like, are they hip to it? Because that's like California and Pacific Northwest.
They're so hip to it here in town that they actually have a contest going for the best ADU right now.
Really?
It just happened.
So you're saying that if you bought a property and it has a really big lot, you might be able to build an additional unit on that property for what's it cost? Like what if somebody
we're talking about cost versus what you charge somebody. It's two different things.
Okay. Yeah. What would you charge a friend of Omaha REIA? Now everybody shuts
Well, and
up.
just so you know, if you are an Omaha REIA member, if you use Tanner Gordon, you're going to get a 10% discount. And you're also gonna, if you're a previous or active military, Tanner, which nobody else does this, is providing an additional 5% discount to you.
Yeah, thank you to our troops. We appreciate your service.
Okay, let's talk. Let's talk details here. So let's say somebody wants to build an ADU in Omaha. So an additional dwelling unit. Basically, you're throwing mother-in-law in the backyard.
Yep.
Right? What's it cost to get plumbing, like the whole thing done, like turnkey? Are we talking 150 grand? Is that about right?
Yeah, I say that's about right.
Okay. And so you can get an additional unit in your backyard if you have enough space for it for, let's call it 150. Obviously, it depends on a lot of different things, but that'll give you at least a good ballpark to go off of when you're looking at, like, does this deal make sense or does it not make sense? I think that's a good REIA Radio podcast, little segment we could add in there.
Ooh, I love it.
Does it make sense or does it not make sense? So we'll workshop the name. Let's hear from you.
This will be the first segment you've added as eulogy.
Yeah, you googly. That's what Brandon Turner calls
it. Is that the Maui way of saying it?
Yeah, it is. You googly. Well, this has been awesome. Tanner, appreciate you as always. I love your tape measure that you brought with you. That just gives extra credibility. It's like wearing a sidearm. So, REIA, Omaha REIA attendees, thank you so much for those of you that stuck around through our 18-hour podcast live episode here.
Do you guys love
you.
this?
We appreciate you. And we're handing out $10,000 to every guest that's here.
No, we're not.
Well, I'm just saying, like, nobody else is in.
But we got some shirts to give away, so I got some conclusions here.
Okay, wait, sorry. Shirts is what I meant, not $10,000. But thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening. 5-star reviews are always appreciated.
Woo!
Free drinks on Midwest Title still, I think.
I want to give a shout out to one of my best friends, Owen, going above and beyond, being the guy that makes this podcast happen. I'm going to say right now, if it wasn't for Owen, REIA Radio would not happen. And I'm getting that right now. And so I wasn't being it. And Dennis Bertrand, for the guy that was a member of the Omaha REIA, that approached me and said, "Hey man, can I follow you, do everything that you do?" Helped Hal Richmond with his. He helped us with DBG Realty. He helped us with marketing, helped us with videos. Created a business called DB Video.
DB Video.
And Dennis Bertrand, I want to give a shout out to you, man. It's been a pleasure working with you. And I know you don't talk much in the podcast, but I'm going to tell you what, the insight that you bring into us brings another version to the podcast. And the podcast would not be what it is without you.
Truth. So, Dennis, I want to also lump some kudos on top of this. So, Dennis is the man. I've known to grow to love this gentleman from Jamaica. He and his wife, Tamara, are just awesome people. He brings it every week, and we love hearing his crazy insights and stories. Like, love you, buddy. Thank you for everything you've done. We would not be here without you, and we love you. So thanks for everything.
I'm going to tell you one thing. In this crazy world of all of what's going on, we are very open to everybody. Like Jose Pena. Jose runs a REIA called the Hispanic REIA that does nothing but talk Spanish in this group. Jose is an amazing human and an amazing investor. I fully put all my support behind you and what you're doing. I appreciate you. I don't speak Spanish, so come to the events. I don't know what's being said, but Omaha REIA is more than just Omaha REIA. We're REIA Nebraska, and REIA Nebraska is a group that is extending to multiple groups. But Jose is a big part of that. Ryan Miller, you still here? Ryan Miller runs our rookie REIA. Rookie REIA is something that I came up with a long time ago, but I do not run it. I do not come up with concepts. I can't take anything from it after it was accepted. But Ryan showcases properties. No question it's a bad question. Came straight out of military, extremely intelligent guy, very nervous about being on social media. Another great human. Ryan, what you do for our community also is great. And I appreciate everything that you do. So thank you so much. I'm going to throw us a couple other shout outs here. Ben Cat. If you want a guy that's done more than anybody else I've ever met in my life, that guy right there with the backwards hat that's always wearing flip flops. Ben, you're an amazing person that I've actually looked up to since the day I started doing this. I started with DBG Realty Group doing marketing. I met Ben Cat at that point in my life. Ben was in his 20s. I think I'm quite a bit older than Ben right now, Ben, but I was like, holy shit, if Ben can do it, I can do it. And of all the people I've ever interviewed in the years, I've never seen anybody do have such a diverse portfolio as Ben Cat. And if you ever want to talk to somebody that has truly just kicked ass, Ben Cat has been that person. And I have mad respect for you, Ben. I appreciate what you do for this community. I appreciate that you show up to these events. You are the things that you do for this community are above and beyond, and you're just truly a humble person. And I appreciate you so much. Yeah, so Frank over there, it's gonna be a minute. So if you gotta leave, I'm fine with that. So I'm gonna go through here. Frank Melville, wave your hand. Frank is actually the biggest sale I've ever had in my life, and I worked with my mom, Lo Albers, wherever she's at. You need to listen to Frank's podcast because he's doing hotel investing. I've never ran across anybody that's doing what Frank's doing. He's the guy that will hang out actually did dinner with my kids and my family when he came into town. Just a great human. I'm saying this because there's very few people in the room, and I just want people to know who's in the room right now. But Frank, I appreciate you. Appreciate everything done, and you're a great story. Michael Freed, episode number 2. Michael, we share cigars. We share old fashions. Your girlfriend is helping with my accounting. You put your heart and passion in everybody you work with. I love what you do with your family, and I highly respect you, and I'm glad to call you a friend. Dennis Bertrand, I'm gonna go through. I don't give a shit. You can cut me off. You can cut me off. I don't give a shit, but I'm gonna keep talking. Denlis came in from this. Hey, don't cut it. Don't cut it. Dennis Bertrand came into this business as a person that came into the REIA. Hey, fuck you. Dennis Bertrand came in this. I'm gonna talk. You guys can leave. I don't care. Dennis Bertrand came in. Gerard, your time is coming. You're not leave yet. Dennis came into this, and he was like, hey man, let me take your webcam, and let me handle the angles for you. And Dennis went from the point where he's like, hey man, can I come to a point where I go with you to each flip and learn stuff? Then he worked for Hal Richmond. And then he worked for DBG, and now he has his own successful company, and it created all this that you guys see. And if it wasn't for Denlis, we probably wouldn't have a podcast right now, and we wouldn't have this live stream. So can we give a round of applause for Denlis? If you guys are thinking about starting a podcast, talk to Denlis first, and go from there. So over here, and this guy in the corner, Albert's Flooring. You guys don't know that? That's my little brother. And my little brother was my best man at my wedding. Also, one of the most important people in my life. And I can tell you right now, if you guys ever need flooring, that guy will never screw you. That guy will go above and beyond to help you. He offers a great service and goes above and beyond. Let's go next here. Tanner Gordon over there in the corner, raise your hand, Tanner. Tanner has New Image Construction. Hey, if you guys are going to talk, go down the hallway, Bo, so I'm going to keep you going. Yeah, I'm serious. I know we're almost at the end here, but everybody that's in this room right now, hey, everybody in this room right now matters. I know it because I'm looking around right now. Tanner Gordon and their own New Image Construction. That guy has done my last 3 flips and saved my ass on a job that my contractor backed out on me.